This level of tyranny and corruption perpetrated by the super mayor in Dolton, Illinois, grows every single day. It is absolutely disgusting. Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. Thank you all for joining me for this live stream. This is going to be an amazing live stream. I'm going to be talking to some of you, doing live stream calls, but we'll get to that in a second. We're here first to talk about Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor. This is a mugshot from 2016 when she was arrested for trespassing inside of private vehicles. Who knows what she was doing there? But, you know, I was watching Nate the Lawyer. If you haven't subscribed to Nate the Lawyer, he's a great YouTube channel, very informational. He does great work over there. So I was watching his video, and he put together this clip that I want to share with you that shows how Tiffany Henyard went from this mugshot and other things, other business ventures, to the mayor of Dolton, the super mayor. Let's take a look.
Hi, Sharks. I'm Tiffany Henyard from Chicago, Illinois. I am currently the owner of Tiffany's Good Burger and Soul Food, located at 634 Burnham in Calumet City, Illinois. Our phone number is 708-801-9980. And for those who's trying to find us, you can check our food truck or follow us on Twitter. Just go to our website, loveagoodburger.com. Again, that is loveagoodburger.com.
Now, you know that's not fair, sneaking up on a man when he's eating a Tiffany juicy burger. But seeing that you're here, let me just fill you in. When a man get to hold a burger like this in his hand, this is like heaven.
A few moments later.
Congratulations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Tiffany Henyard was sworn in as Dolton's first female mayor. At 37, she's also Dolton's youngest.
Well, we're moving on up to the east side, to the deluxe apartments in the sky. We're moving on up to the east side. We finally got a piece of the.
So again, go subscribe to Nate the Lawyer. That was hilarious. Listen, she comes from very humble beginnings, from a criminal background to her current criminal background. That's exactly, her criminal activity is what remains constant here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what remains constant for Tiffany Henyard here. As you know, I went to Dolton several times. I've interacted with the police chief that is now suspended, but he refuses to leave. But before we get into that, I just wanted to bring this up to you guys. So Attorney Shield, we have a lot of things going on Attorney Shield. We have great big announcement coming in the next couple of weeks. I can't wait to share that with you. But in the meantime, if you click the link in the description and sign up, at the end of this video, I am going to be calling you. Just got to email me at longislandaudit@gmail.com. I'll be checking my emails. I have it right in front of me. Email me a screenshot of your order confirmation number with your phone number and your name, and I will call you live on this stream. If I don't get to you on the stream, I will call you later on offline, because I just love to thank you personally, have a conversation with you. I really appreciate it. Together, we're going to really affect change and change policing in America. Also, for the next 24 hours, if you sign up, I will be giving you a free Resist Tyranny shirt from my merch store. Again, you have to email me your size and everything so I can take care of it for you. But we're trying to grow the company. We're trying to affect change, and we're going to do it with your help. So let's get right into the video. I can't wait to speak to you guys later. Let's get right into the video. So this is, I've had interactions with the Dolton Police Department before. If you've seen my video, I'll show you a little clip of a couple of my interactions.
Themselves when demanded by law enforcement, chief?
That is the police chief to the right, Louis Lacey. And that is a commander to the left, Commander Riley.
Chief, I don't care about Black Lives.
Follow me, sir.
I can walk, sir. I can walk.
Sir, don't walk up on me, sir.
I'm not. You're stopping in front of me. You're stopping in front of me.
Sir, don't walk up on me.
I'm not walking. I'm walking down the public sidewalk.
No, but don't get on nobody's personal
I'm
space.
not. He stopped. I'm not getting in anybody's personal space. He stopped in front of me.
You see right there, see his hand right here? He was putting his handcuffs back in. The coward, Louis Lacey, who is involved in many federal lawsuits, very corrupt individual, has no knowledge of the law, cannot pass a simple exam, which is why he's the acting police chief and not the actual police chief. But I digress. He's putting his handcuffs back in his pocket there. He stopped in front of me as I was following him to ask him some questions because I saw a video where he said that every single citizen in the United States has to identify themselves to a law enforcement officer. So I wanted to confront him about that statement, that ignorant statement that is unconstitutional, and ask him what he really thought. So he stops in front of me in order to create some type of confrontation and then pulls out his handcuffs, but he's a coward, so he didn't use them.
Me. Chief, put those cuffs away. You're not going to arrest anybody. Stop it. Put the cuffs away. You'll be making a big mistake just like your mayor that you protect.
Y'all are very racist people. This is Commander Riley, everyone. And I'm surprised this hasn't made mainstream media news. It would if the races were reversed. Take a listen.
White race, though. Y'all think it's okay to call
I'm not even white, man.
I don't know what color you are. You're lighter than me. You look white to me.
You're lighter than me. You look white to me. All white people are racist. Imagine a white commander in a police department said, you know, all black people are racist, all Hispanics are racist. And then I say, well, sir, I'm not even racist. First of all, it's not true, but I'm not even black, sir. Well, you're darker than me, so you must be black. Imagine the type of mainstream media coverage that would have. Just imagine. So, as you know, the village of Dolton is in dire straits. Actually, Lori Lightfoot, which I don't know how much she's going to accomplish, but she has a report coming out today. If we're still live, you know, make sure you hit that like button and share this video. If we're still live, we still got a lot of people watching. We're going to take a look at her report. I think it's coming out in probably like 30 minutes or so. We can probably go over there. But they're dire straits, so they've laid off, the trustees have laid off different employees, and they've suspended or put them on administrative leave, the police chief, Lacey. Take a look.
The board voted last night to place the village's top cop on administrative leave, only for him to defiantly return to work today. The gray clouds over Village Hall tonight seem fitting as trustee Brittany Norwood describes the financial woes that loom over Dolton, resulting in the board to vote last night to place Dolton's deputy police chief, Louis Lacey, on administrative leave and lay off 8 village employees.
We were about $6 million in deficit.
But this morning voted last night to place
actually valid.
$6 million.
But this morning, despite the vote, Lacey still reported to work after Norwood says the deputy chief claims the board had no authority to place him on leave.
He still comes to work after the board of trustees, the legislative branch of Dolton, put him on administrative leave, but he still shows up to work. That's tyranny. That's corruption.
That is not true. So we did a vote on it, and our vote is actually valid at the moment. So we were quite surprised when he showed up at work today. We're waiting for the advice of our attorney to figure out our necessary steps legally.
This is political retaliation.
Embattled Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard responded to that vote last night during yet another chaotic meeting amid multiple investigations, including a federal one into her spending of village funds. Preliminary details in an independent probe led by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot are expected to be released to the public Thursday. Today, our calls to Mayor Henyard for a comment.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Of course. That's what happens to a lot of my phone calls too, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm calling corrupt politicians and government workers. It just goes right to voicemail. No, they're busy. They don't have time for a meeting. That's just how that works. So again, they're in dire straits over there.
Making significant personnel moves tonight, including placing Dolton's top cop on administrative leave. The meeting featuring chaotic moments that have become a hallmark of this village.
I've went to a Dolton village meeting. The people in Dolton are very nice. They are very welcoming. They've appreciated my work over there in Dolton, and listen what they have to say.
The level of the breaching of public trust is sickening.
The meeting nearly ended before it really began, after residents who'd already taken their seats.
You guys have to go through the metal detectors so that everyone is secure in the building.
Were ordered by Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
So the metal detectors, that's a new thing in Dolton, and they're doing it because apparently, you know, when you're corrupt and tyrannical, you start fearing for your life, apparently, and I don't know what's going on. The people there, I've met them. They're very nice people. I don't think that she says, so we can all be protected. But really, it's all about the person you're looking at right there. Tiffany Henyard.
To pass through metal detectors.
You're just so petty and unprofessional. How are you okay with that?
In what's become a monthly ritual in this village under federal investigation and facing multiple lawsuits, residents called for Henyard's resignation.
We deserve a mayor that truly cares about our village and not a mayor that sees our village as her personal playground.
At the meeting, which was marked by repeated disruptions and people being let out, the board laying off 8 village employees, citing village finances, and limiting village credit card spending. Trustees and the mayor sparring over money.
Speaking to the accounting department, we are in a financial disaster. Sometimes people have to follow the leader, because sometimes the leader is the visionary. It is like quiet.
The board also voting to place Deputy Chief Lewis Lacey on administrative leave. Exactly why, the board didn't say publicly.
This is
because he's a tyrant.
Political retaliation.
This heated night leaving many shaking their heads.
Y'all are being hoodwinked.
Bamboozled. So that's what Tiffany likes to say about right here, Tiffany Henyard. She likes to say you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled by the Board of Trustees. But you see her perfect hair right there. You see her nice little curls. All that's done on taxpayer dime. Thousands and thousands of dollars she has spent of the taxpayer money on a stylist. And then she labels it as administrative assistant. So, you know, she's covering up her crimes by labeling her stylist as an administrative assistant. I did not know that. I didn't know that was their job title. Also, these hundreds of thousands of dollars in leases from Chevy Tahoes, tens of thousands of dollars in first class air travel. I have no idea how this woman is still sitting free. I don't know how she's not behind bars. This has been going on for years now, years. This just got recently mainstream media attention, but in the internet's attention, but it's been going on for years, the corruption and tyranny perpetrated by the self-proclaimed super mayor, and yet she doesn't go to jail. You know, the FBI is investigating, but I mean, what's taking so long? It's clear what she's doing. Now, the Board of Trustees did hire Lori Lightfoot at like $500 an hour, I believe, the ex-mayor of Chicago. I was actually there when she was appointed. And, you know, I believe that it was, a political stunt. Maybe it was done in order to bring more awareness to Dolton, because obviously, you know, hiring a controversial mayor like Lori Lightfoot would bring some sort of media attention to the area. Maybe that's why it was done. But as far as like a legal perspective or, you know, efficiency perspective, she has no subpoena powers. So she cannot subpoena anything. She's just relying on what people are telling her, what people are giving her. Her investigation has no sort of legal authority to do anything outside of the realm of what a private investigator would do or what I would do. Anybody would just get documents. So the trustees really could have done that on themselves, by themselves, and, you know, investigated and released all the documents to the media. But with Lori Lightfoot, apparently her investigation is done. They spent tens of thousands of dollars, paying her to do that job. And it's supposedly coming out in the next 30 minutes or so. So maybe, you know, like I said, I want to stay on this live for a little while, because I'm going to be doing, I want to show you guys Attorney Shield in action. I want to use it. Why not? Just, you know, hopefully we don't take up attorney from somebody who really needs it. They're trained to get off the call if it's like a test call like this. So we'll be all right. But again, if you sign up, the link is in the description. Not only do you save 10%, but I will be calling you live. We'll be speaking to each and every one of you who sign up. If we do it during the live stream, I'll call you during the live stream. You just have to put the link in the description, click the link in the description, sign up, email me your phone number. Very important, at longislandaudit@gmail.com. Email me your phone number and I will call you. We can talk about Attorney Shield. We can talk about anything you want. I just want to thank you for the support, because we really need to change policing in America. So really quickly, while we wait for people, I want to show you guys how, let me just make sure. I don't want to give any personal information out, but I wanted to show you, let me make myself bigger here. So I wanted to show you guys how it works, because people have been asking me, if you want to see it in work in live action, Lackluster actually just put out a video. I'll put it in the link in the description for that video. One of our members put, he highlighted one of our members' videos. But let's see, let's go to the Attorney Shield app. So when you first hit the app, it's kind of hard to see. This is the app when it first comes out. Hold on, let me try and turn down these lights a little bit. Maybe that will help. That's good enough. You guys can still see me and hear me. There we go. Still hard to see. So if you look at the app, it says, let me pull up the, hold on. Let me pull this up really quick. I love live streams. Aren't they great? So it's the Attorney Shield app. Again, for $8 a month, You know, especially with the 10% that you get from using my link. You know, we're trying to change policing. But when you hit the app, let me see. Let me turn off this light now. It's going to be dark in here, guys. But I really want you to see this. It's important. I want to show you the working product and can't wait to give you this great information on our new thing going on. Here we go. So let's do traffic stop. So you have test call, traffic stop, auto accident, pedestrian stop, domestic, other. So if we had traffic stop, I just want to show you in real time. So let's confirm. So it says right now it is establishing connection with attorney. You can see test call, traffic stop. There you go. You can see it now. And I just want to do this in real time with you guys. Look at that. Hi, how are you? Hi. Hey, how are you? How you guys doing? So this is, I can hear you perfectly fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You can hear me and see me. So this is one of our attorneys, Natalie. Hi. Say hi to everybody, Natalie.
Hi.
We have 3,000. She is one of our attorneys here that is going to be protecting your constitutional rights. See how quickly that was? That was like 15 seconds, and she came right on the phone. And then I just wanted to show you, just before I hang up, Natalie, I just wanted to show them the driver information. So I didn't want to obviously put my license and stuff in here to show you guys. Normally it's my license, but I don't know if you guys remember this license here, McLovin from Hawaii. So you could see, you could put your license, your registration, your insurance, everything is in here uploaded already. If you have any medical issues or anything like that. Natalie, thank you so much. I'm going to hit my pin. I'm going to show them how that works. I don't want to keep you on the phone too long. I know you're busy. So you hit end right here, and then it's going to ask you for your secure pin. I don't want to know my secure pin. And there you go. And then we ask for some feedback based on what the call was. And then at the end, it tells you the session details, total duration. When I'd used it, one of my retaliatory traffic stops, it said that I was like there for 37 minutes. It was insane. So you see start time, end time. And I'm getting a text. I'm getting a text from my emergency contact, everyone. Ask him if I'm okay. I forgot to tell my emergency contact that I was going to hit the button. So let me try and show you what that is, what that looks like. So this is the text message they received right here. That link at the bottom is my location. So the whole point is, you know, you want to make sure everybody's getting home safe. You want to make sure everybody is okay. So right here it says, Hey, blank, Sean Paul Reyes has requested attorney shield legal support. Please allow time for our legal first responder to provide support before attempting to make contact. And then it gives you like a Google map link to the location of the incident. For those of you with children, teenage children, my children aren't teenagers yet, but seems like a pretty good feature to me. So let me see if anybody signed up so I can call somebody really quick. Let's see. Oop, some people have signed up. Let's see. Phone number. All right, it's going to be coming from a restricted number, guys. Just remember that. Hold on. We're making the calls. We're going to be calling Christine. 678 450. I've never called you guys before on live stream. This is interesting. Christine, pick up. If you're watching, pick up. Don't call me. I'm busy watching a video. Thank you, Hyde. I appreciate that. I'm reading the comments. I'm seeing the comments, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Well, this is what happens when I say I'm going to call you guys. You guys don't answer. All right. We got more people who signed up. Let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. What's the screenshot? I don't see. This is going to be a long live. I normally don't do the very, very concise and clean, but, you know, we're having fun today, right? I want to speak to you guys. This person didn't put their phone number. No. Just check if you didn't send your phone number. Just make sure you're sending your phone number too. All right, guys. I'm getting emails, but nobody's putting their phone number, so I can't call them. Hold on, let me try another one. Yeah, I need your ID. I need your ID, your phone number, all of it. Let me put these lights back on so you guys can see me. I'm like in the dark. I'm currently traveling to Illinois to visit Tiffany Henyard. That's why I wanted to do this. I'm currently on my way. I'm in an undisclosed location in an undisclosed hotel on my way to go visit Tiffany Henyard.
Please leave your message for
Carla, I'm not calling you. Shoot me an email, guys. Nobody's answering. I want to talk to you guys on the phone. I keep calling the number. This person really wanted to talk. Christine, what happened? I should have gave you guys like a heads up ahead of time. That's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. Hold on. You signed up a month ago? If you signed up a month ago, send me an email with your phone number. Send me an email. Come on, I want to talk to you guys live. Stand up for your rights. Let me see here. That is a true statement. Listen, I don't get involved in politics. I really don't. I believe politics is meant to divide us. Maybe I'll talk more about politics and stuff on another channel. This is about our constitutional rights. This is not about division. This is about bringing us together, and that's what politics is about, division. But I will say that there are candidates out there that want to give full blanket immunity to the police. That would be the Republican candidate for president, wants to give full blanket immunity to the police, and that's just ridiculous. I have if you can't call out what's absolutely ridiculous, that is absolutely ridiculous. When am I running for office? Maybe I'll run for governor of New York so I can be in charge of the state police. Let's check out some of these super chats. It was so dope to see the press conference with so many great auditing community members. I have ideas of my own in the works. Hope to play my part. Tobin, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Let's take a look at another one here from Donovan. Donovan says, a little birdie told me you were looking to expand to Canada with Attorney Shield. Every company, we're always trying to expand. So, I don't know who told you that, but we're always trying to expand. We're always trying to do better. We're always trying to do, protect everybody's rights. That's what we're trying to do. Caesar, come to Joliet, Illinois. I'll be in Illinois soon. So if you guys have any places in Illinois, Ohio, you want me to go, let me know in the chat. Long time watcher from Canada. You are an ambassador. I wish all auditors pursue your quality. God bless. Alexander, cruel world right here. Sean, my phone never rang. Oh man, I'm calling you. Maybe you have all right, I'm not going to block my number then. Let's see. I want to talk to Christine because I appreciate her signing up. She sent me the email with everything. There's no time limit, right? There's no time limit. We're just hanging out together. We'll wait to see if Lori Lightfoot announces her investigation into Tiffany Henyard. We'll see what that's about. Let me call Christine again without blocking my number. Maybe Christine, you have it where people with blocked numbers can't call. I've made hundreds of phone calls to people thanking them. Hundreds. And I don't mind because I love speaking to you guys. And what we're trying to accomplish with Attorney Shield is very important. It really is. Live call-in show.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, Christine, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to hear from you. Let me take you off my headphones because I'm afraid that's going to screw up the call.
Oh, it sounds great, but okay. It sounds great.
Oh, well, I just did it anyway. So I was actually in my basement, in my laundry room, when you said, okay, I'm getting ready to call Christine. And I ran upstairs and I stood in front of my phone and it didn't ring.
maybe you have something where like you can't it blocked, because I blocked my number at first. So maybe it's like when I blocked my number, it wouldn't work. But you just signed up for Attorney Shield?
No, I signed up the day you first announced it.
Oh, so you're a founding member.
Yes.
You're a founding member. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're really appreciative of our founding members. You guys get, special things. So I really appreciate that. So have you had to use it yet? Hopefully not.
I have not had to use it, not one time.
Good.
But because I'm such a strong supporter of this, this is the most amazing thing I think you ever could have done, because I've had my run-ins in the past. And I have a question for you too, by the way. I got protection for my daughter and for her husband. I got them 2 extra ones so that if they want to, whatever they want to do with it, they've got it. And we talked my daughter's best friend into signing up. So we're serious. We are like so 100% in support of this idea. This is like the best thing that ever hit the planet.
Christine, that means a lot to me. When my partners and I were first formulating Attorney Shield, I was like, this could be a game changer. And that's why, I'm doing this right now. This is why I want to call people and thank them for signing up for Attorney Shield, because it's so important that we have like a huge base, right? It's once we become visible, and once there's so many people, once there's 50% of the American population has Attorney Shield, cops are going to have to take notice of that, and they're going to have to behave themselves and stop violating our rights. And people are going to be more informed, and you'll have videos on your phone that go directly to the cloud. And I really appreciate it, Christine. You said you had a question for me?
I do, and I put all this in the email, but I know you didn't have very long to. Anyway, I'm in Georgia, and as you may or may not know, Georgia is about as corrupt as Connecticut.
Right.
And the cops, they're just disgusting. So my question is when we get pulled over, cops they're, first of all, they're just off the bat ugly. But they will demand you to put your phone down. And, everybody gets scared. Okay, I put my phone down. But they borderline threaten you that if you don't put your phone down, they're going to take you to jail, let alone wait for you to get an attorney on the line. And then after that, if you get somebody on the line, an attorney on the line, their next argument will be, I don't know who that is. I don't know if she's an attorney. So I was wondering, in that circumstance, where do we go? How do we
right. I think I understand your question. So, I've been to Georgia. I've dealt with the Pooler police chief, Chief Ashley Brown, I believe his name is. Very, very miserable man. So I've dealt with a few. I understand how Georgia can be, and that's unfortunate, because they'll tell you to take the phone out of your hand for officer safety and all these other things. So like your phone can hurt them in any way. I mean, I guess it can hold them accountable in some way. So but what I would say to that is, they don't need to know that that's an actual attorney on the phone. I mean, our system is pretty, once you actually use it, you'll see that it says Attorney Shield. The person will identify themselves as an attorney. It has the logo and everything. So it's not like you're just FaceTiming some random person. So the cops should be able to see that and acknowledge that. But you definitely have a right. You have a Sixth Amendment right to have an attorney present during questioning. And if a cop is asking questions, where do you live? Do you still reside here? Do you know how fast you were going? All the typical questions on a traffic stop that they're trying to trap you on. You have a right to have an attorney present. You have the right to remain silent and not say anything. All your documents are there in the app. It's recording. The cop can't turn it off can't end the call without you hitting your security pin. It'll let your family know what's going on. I would just say that I would say that the cops need to learn how to accept it. If they do for some reason take your phone from you, that's obviously a Fourth Amendment violation, and with an attorney on the line, that's a Sixth Amendment violation. So and another good thing about Attorney Shield, which I really appreciate, is because Lackluster and I, the Lackluster channel, and my friend Dale, we both signed up. We both were partners in this company, that these videos aren't just going to be held in an Attorney Shield cloud store, our secure cloud. We will help expose. We always ask for permission. We speak to our members and before we put out any videos, but we will help expose them. So the mainstream media, things have happened to me in the past, and currently, that the mainstream media, local news, they won't cover it. They'll be like, oh, and it's hard to hold the law enforcement officer accountable. So that's another facet of Attorney Shield, that if something does happen, you can't turn it off, and it's still going to go. People will still see it if that's what you want, and your rights will be protected, and we'll help you and to get the word out.
Awesome. Well, I can't tell you. I found you and Lackluster the same day, actually, maybe within a few days of each other. And I've been following both of you for many, many years. And it was just after I experienced a raw experience with Georgia police. And I went looking for answers. What can I do? This, that, and the other. And that's when I found Lackluster. And it was within days I found you. And I've been following both of you, and only you two. I haven't been following any other auditors, just you and Lackluster for some reason. And so, I can't thank you enough for the movement, for the work you've done. And I wish I had your gall, your bravery.
Well, thank you, Christine. I really appreciate your support. I'm going to call somebody else now, but thank you so much. I hope you enjoy Attorney Shield. Hope it protects you and your family, and I appreciate your support. We're gonna change. We're gonna change policing together.
Absolutely.
All right.
Amen.
Thanks.
And
Thanks,
go
Christine.
in peace with God.
Amen.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. I think I got a couple more emails. Christine, very nice meeting you. Thank you. I love talking to you guys on live. All right, we're gonna be here all night. Then make sure while you're sitting there, grab your popcorn, hit the like button, and share this video. Let's see. There we go. Oh, Sean. I like your name, Sean. Let's see. Let's call Sean. If you guys want me to call, you got to pick up.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person.
Nope. All right, I'll try calling that number back again. Let me try a different one. Robert. Wow, a lot of you are signing up. I really appreciate that. Like I said, if you sign up in the next 24 hours, I'm going to give you a Resist Tyranny shirt completely for free as a gift from me, because we need to come together and change policing.
Hello?
Hey, Robert. How are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, I wanted to call you and thank you. We're live right now. I just wanted to call and thank you for signing up for Attorney Shield. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was crazy. I just got it. I sent your email, and so you were just calling someone and got sent the voicemail, and then my phone popped up private number, and I was like, usually I don't answer private numbers, and
Right.
I was like, I'm answering this.
Well, Robert, I really appreciate it. So where are you from, Robert? What state?
You're PA. I sent you a video. I know I was an ass in the video, but I sent you a video a few weeks back. So I lit some sparklers off, and this cop freaking harassed me, and I videoed it inside his car. And he had a canine, but the canine wasn't barking or not, but he had his cat open, so I was trying to video his cat, and he actually pushed me out of the way and hit me with his door. It was quite interesting. Yeah. So I'm waiting for the body film. I put a complaint in, and haven't heard nothing. Nobody wants to say anything about it. So I'm waiting for my lawyer to get back. I have a great lawyer up here. He's amazing. But it was the first time ever videotaping a cop.
All right. That's crazy. And I mean, if you would have Attorney Shield, maybe he would have acted a little bit differently. You know, the goal of Attorney Shield is so that way the attorney can help calm you down and calm the cop down, and just have like a mediator there to make sure that you're go home safe and you don't spend the night in jail, because you can file a lawsuit and everything, you could beat the charge, but you can't beat the ride. So it's insane. We're trying to keep people out of jail.
Exactly. Like I knew I didn't do anything wrong. Like I knew for a fact. I watch every single one of your videos for the last 3 years, man. Like you and Lackluster are like my favorite, and San Juan, Valley, or what's his name? You three are my freaking main people I watch every day. Like every day I'm on YouTube watching for one of you guys. And like I knew I didn't do anything wrong. And like I gave him an opportunity. I was like, fuck it. I'm sorry. Ooh.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
I told him, I turned around, put my hands around my back, and I was like, he kept threatening me with arrest. I was like, let's go. But luckily nothing happened. I didn't want nothing to happen, but at the end of the day, he wasn't gonna boss me around and trample my rights. And
right. Good for you, man. Always stand on your rights. Always fulfill the police. Thank you. It was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, buddy.
All right. You too. Bye-bye. I love talking to you guys. I'm reading the chat at the same time. Let's not get political. I know I kind of dabbled in it because I saw so many comments about, about the immunity for law enforcement, the full federal immunity. I'm just stating facts. I'm not taking a position either way. The fact is, presidential, full immunity for cops. None of us, right, want that whatsoever. And trust me, the other side is not any better. Politics is just horrible. And look, guys are already fighting in the chat. They don't care about you. Neither one of them. None of them care about you. I promise you. All right, let's call somebody else, because we're getting a lot of emails here. Let's see here. All right, let's call Sean back. This is a long live stream. How long have we been on this live stream already? 36 minutes, not bad. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean. What's going on?
Hey, Sean. Love your name, man.
Me too. That's why I watch you.
Hey, how are you, man? Just signed up for Attorney Shield?
Yes, sir. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but just finally got around to doing it.
Perfect.
Watch your videos all the time, man. You're keeping our rights strong, so we appreciate you.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate your support. Thank you for joining the Attorney Shield family, because
out here on Staten Island.
Oh, Staten Island. I love Staten Island, man. I love, I even got a couple of law enforcement officers who support me in Staten Island, believe it or not. Most of them
live here, so
yeah. It's crazy.
Great to speak to you, man. Keep up the hard work, keep up the fight. We all appreciate it. I'm happy that I could help with this subscription. Hopefully I never need it, but make
sure you set it up.
I'll be taken care of.
Yeah, just make sure you set it up, put your documents in there, put your emergency contact, take advantage of all the different features, and then hopefully you never need it. But again, it's about building something that's going to, intimidate these unions, intimidate law enforcement, and let them know that, we're here, to protect our rights, and we're not going to get back down. So thanks, Sean. Appreciate
100%.
it.
My family's law enforcement, and they love what you do because it keeps people accountable, and they hate bad cops.
Good.
So,
tell them I appreciate their service.
They appreciate what you do.
I appreciate their service to community. All right, thanks. Bye.
Have a great day.
Sean was very nice. See, there's no, we were talking about Tiffany Henyard. Let's see if they're Lori Lightfoot. It's going back here. Still nothing on the Lori Lightfoot report that I can see. Let's see here. Anybody else signed up for Attorney Shield? I'm going to be giving away a lot of shirts. Oh, some people are just getting it and not even giving me their phone number. Paul, thank you for signing up. Paul said, hey, Sean, I've been a fan for a while. I'm up in Rhode Island. Thanks for all you do. You don't need to say thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. Just so you know, I'm in. I'm right there with you, Paul. Let's see here. Let's call live call-in show. Never been done before on the Long Island Audit channel. Three, 3, 1, 1. Jacob. We're calling Jacob for all of you.
Hello?
Jacob, how are you?
What the hell, Sean? That's awesome. I didn't hear my name, but I got a call all of a sudden.
Yeah, man. Thank you. You're Attorney Shield member, founding member, you said?
Yeah. No, I'm like, I love it. I love the fact that I haven't used it, but I
Right.
love the concept of it.
Right. No, it's
Right?
amazing. I love it too.
Yeah, I think it's great. I've followed you for quite some time. Like, I think you had probably just tens of thousands of followers at the time, I think.
Really? So back in 2021-ish, around there?
Yeah, and to see how far you've come and to see the extent that you've gone through to help everybody else and auditors and all of that, that was amazing. Like, it's just amazing to be a part of somebody who can support that and obviously get a little benefit to myself as well. So and I know you're really wanting to showcase Attorney Shield, but I did want to mention.
Sure, yeah, we can talk about whatever. Yeah.
Like a year and a half or a year or so back, I sent an email that was I got buzzed one night and I was like, dude, because I was watching a lot of different auditors and you and Lackluster, Liberty Troll. I saw him in here earlier. Shout out to you, Liberty. But a lot of you guys are very respectful, but there's a lot of First Amendment auditors that aren't. And yeah, you have freedom of speech, but saying F you, you stupid pig, I can do whatever the F I want. None of that really helps anybody. And so I sent you this mock-up syllabus of an audit academy of could you teach other auditors how to do it appropriately? And what are generally your steps? Because you travel to different states, so I'm sure you probably do research on the location first, get, property lines and getting all of those things and kind of how you go about preparing yourself, performing it, and then afterwards handling the aftermath, whether good or bad.
Right. So I've thought about that a lot. Obviously, I don't remember receiving your email. I get so many emails, so I apologize for that. But if you can send it to me again.
Oh,
but
no, it keeps me up at night. I wholeheartedly blame you for it.
Send it to me again. But I've thought about it a lot. I've had that idea before, and people have brought that idea to me before. I don't think it's productive to scream and yell and act like a fool towards police either. It is your First Amendment right, so I do support it unequivocally. So I didn't say it was their First Amendment right. The Supreme Court of the United States did. So it's your right to be an asshole to the police and to use whatever language you want to use. I don't think it's overall productive to what we're trying to accomplish here, and I don't think it's going to help help us protect our constitutional rights and hold law enforcement accountable. I don't think it's productive towards that end. But as far as the training goes,
it separates us further.
Right, it just separates us further, and it's just going to create a divide where law enforcement's going to want to retaliate against us even more. It's just not a good way to do it, in my opinion. As far as the training goes, I could do a training video. I can put that together using my knowledge that I have, and you're right. I don't just go places without doing research first and looking up the state statutes, talking to attorneys, doing research and investigating where I'm going first. But as far as how to
in the chat, if you guys want Sean to release an Audit Academy video,
he said, put a W in the chat if you want me to release an Auditor Academy video. Let me know. But yeah, so as far as the other part of it, that's fine, right? The logistical part of it is fine. But as far as the emotional control, that's something you have to deal with on your own, right? I can't help people. My number one question when I meet people out in public, or I talk to people on the phone, when I call them for signing up for Attorney Shield, because I've made a lot of calls, or my emails, people are like, my number one question is, how do you remain so calm? And my answer is always that I try and control my emotions in every facet of my life. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, I fall, I try and learn from those mistakes and bad decisions that I've made in the past. That's all I can really do. But controlling your emotions isn't easy, and you have to work at it. And if you allow other people, especially law enforcement officers with their egos, and if you allow your ego or your emotions to get out of control, that's a problem. And this is the I guess this is the free course right here. We could just clip this up and but I don't know if I can teach people how to control some people just get upset. Some people just allow others to control their emotions. They it's hard for them to control it. I don't know what I can tell them that's going to help that.
Yeah, and even in your earlier on audits, you were shaky, a little
Right,
bit.
right,
And,
yeah.
it's nerve wracking. Even like you said, even when you practice controlling your emotions throughout every aspect of your life, in that particular aspect where your freedom's at risk, it's stakes are a little bit higher. So
Oh,
of
I
course
used to
you're
be
going to be
so
nervous.
nervous. Yes, and I see some people when they're holding up their cameras to the police, they're shaking. Their hands are shaking, their voices shaking, and I understand. And that's another reason why we came up with attorney shields, because you don't have to interact with the law enforcement officer, right? You don't have to be nervous. Somebody's there watching
And then
you.
they say, "Why are you shaking? Are you nervous?"
Right.
And then they start asking you those questions where Attorney Shield could be like, "Hey, you don't have to answer that."
Right, exactly. And you don't at the end of the day, I think that police officers will be more cordial once they get to know what Attorney Shield is. Right now, we're getting a lot of videos showing law enforcement officers who are like, you don't need that person. Of course, they would say that, right? That's their, they don't want an attorney there with you, and you don't need that. Where this is just a traffic stop. Well, traffic stops can turn into. I've shown plenty of videos on my channel. A simple traffic stop can land you in jail, depending on that officer. If they need to, there's an officer out there that's arresting people in Montana, a state trooper that's arresting people for DUI drugs, for marijuana, when they're exhibiting no symptoms. Again, those are the types of things that we're trying to eliminate and help stop. But as far as people,
and I love that
Yeah.
in the last 2 videos that I've seen you and Lackluster release, kind of showcasing that, was each time the cop was like, "I don't need that person." Like, dude, I'm 38 years old. This isn't my mom.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Those are kind of cringy videos when I see them, people, when they're calling people can stop. I've noticed when you see these traffic stop videos, the body camera, people, they always call somebody, call Attorney Shield. That's what you need to do. You need to call. Don't worry about calling your mom, your dad, your sister, your uncle, your brother. That's not going to do anything for you. You need to be recording and have an attorney there to represent you and your constitutional rights and help de-escalate the situation. Because, as for all the de-escalation training that law enforcement officers do, they fail to utilize it in almost every single case. They don't use it. Their egos, let the ego is what gets the best of them. The lack of accountability, knowing that they're not going to face any consequences for their behavior or violation of your rights, that's a huge problem.
Well, and they can hang up on your mom or your sister or your dad.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I loved that video where yours was still going in the locker.
Yeah.
And they're like, "It's a security risk." You're just like, well,
Right.
you can let me turn it off, or you can just let it sit there.
Right.
It will not turn off until I tell it to.
Right.
Well, fantastic. Hey, thanks for your time, man.
No problem. No
I'm
problem. I
so
love
glad
talking
that I
to
was
you,
able
man.
to be a part of, supporting this and help, helping, getting the funding to launch all of this. And I think it's really important. And I think it's an amazing thing that you're doing. And whether somebody's an auditor or not, I've been telling all of my friends, like, you don't have to frequent, interactions with the police. Just get it and hope that you never have to use it, like your health insurance and your car insurance.
Right. That's the way I think about it too. And we tried to make it as affordable as possible. Attorneys are expensive, as you know. I definitely know from firsthand experience how expensive attorneys can be. So we tried to make it as affordable as possible, so that way we can grow and, make sure everybody's protected and become that deterrence against tyranny and corruption against for law enforcement. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man.
And it gave me chills when you guys got rid of the additional fee for the extra minutes.
Right.
or
Yeah.
whatever
That
it
was very
was.
important
I'm
to
like,
us. That was very important to us.
listening to the people.
Yeah.
Way to fucking say "we the people." Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. You can curse. That's we got a lot of feedback about the additional minutes on the 15-minute. It was like a 15-minute limit. I believe 15 or 30. And you know, we want to listen to the people. You know, my own attorney shield, when I did attorney shield, when I got pulled over for that retaliation by the Suffolk County Police Department, you know, I was there for 37 minutes. That would have been an expensive phone call for me. So again, we want to listen to the people. We want to make sure that, you know, things are going smooth. So I appreciate your time, man. Thank you. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right,
Bye.
I'll jump back and chat.
All right, guys. Right now, yes, Attorney Shield only works. I'm trying to read the chat at the same time. Attorney Shield only works in the United States as of this moment. Let's see here. Let's see if we got any more emails. I'm still checking, by the way, the Lori Lightfoot. I'm refreshing the Lori Lightfoot. She's supposed to be giving an update, so might as well just stick around until then. Keep calling people until Lori Lightfoot comes on. Why not, right? We're here for a while. We're here for a good time and a long time. Let's see if I know I have to make some more calls. Rusty, let's call Rusty. Rusty, if you're in the chat, answer your phone. 262 252.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Rusty, how are you, my friend?
Doing good. Rusty's an alias, but yeah. So,
I figured.
Dude, I've been following what you've been doing. I love the Attorney Shield idea, the premise behind it. Genius. Love it.
Thank you, man. You know, when my partners and I, Lackluster and the rest, that, you know, they do the day-to-day, when we all came together and, you know, he said, let's do this thing, man. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to, you know, but I'm sick and tired of just reporting on videos about police corruption. And, you know, yeah, we have thousands of comments on their Facebook page. You know, we call them, we, you know, petition our grievances to our government and all that, but nothing was changing. And, you know, I wanted to see what we could do to help change that. That's their origin story. We all wanted to see what can we do and use our influence, our platforms to actually create real change. So I appreciate that you're like-minded.
You know, Sean, I've had more police interactions than I can count, you know, between traffic stops and, you know, it's really difficult to, you know, hold yourself back and say, look, just shut your mouth, dude. You know, this is not the place. You're not going to win this. You're still going to get the ticket. Just shut up. It's hard to do. You know, you want to be polite and, you know, answer their questions and stuff. And, you know, over the last, you know, 5 years of following, you know, you and several others, it's like, dude, just shut it, you know, and having that extra tool in your hand of, you know, an attorney, you know, at your fingertips right there at the traffic stop. Oh, genius.
Yeah. And it's not easy. And I see what you're saying. Like, you know, most people are like, oh, just comply, you know, answers questions, be honest and everything, you know, and everything's going to go smoothly. But we've seen it time and time again where people are cooperating. People will do the field sobriety test, not have a lick of alcohol, you know, no drugs or anything, and they'll get taken to jail. You know, they'll get taken to jail. Or even people who don't know the case law regarding stepping out of the vehicle. I think it's ridiculous that we have to step out of a vehicle for officer safety. I think that makes the officer less safe. I don't see how it makes him more safe. I think it's just a power thing. And, you know, but, you know, courts have said you have to step out of the vehicle. How many times have you seen a video where people are having their windows busted and they're taken to jail, dragged out of a car because they didn't know that you just have to step out of the vehicle? Those are the things that we're trying to save, man. That's, you know, we're find out they don't have any. I'm sorry, I was reading something really quick. Somebody says on in the chat.
Yeah, but no, I'm big, huge fan, huge supporter. I'm excited to get this extra, you know, insurance in my pocket.
All right, man. Thank you, Rusty. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, man.
Yeah, take care.
Take care. Bye. This is really cool being able to talk to you guys. Hold on. Let's find somebody else to talk to. And if I don't get to you, I'm marking all the emails. I can't be doing this all night. Just Hold on 1 second. Casey. We're going to call Casey. Yeah, if I don't get to you guys, just know that I will call you offline.
Hello?
Casey, how are you?
Good. Who's this?
This is Sean Paul Reyes. How are you?
Oh, geez, dude, you called me. I don't believe it.
Hey, man.
Dude, you got the biggest cojones I know. Wow, so good to hear your voice.
Thanks, man. I saw that you sent me an email that you're a founding member of Attorney Shield, so I wanted to come and I just wanted to call and thank you and talk to you for a sec. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. A few years back, I got beat up by the police, and I'm like, I went through the system, and they gave me somebody to represent me, and he wasn't a match, and you know the deal. So when this came out, when I heard that you and Lackluster were releasing this, I said, I'm on.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, the video that Lackluster put out when we first released Attorney Shield, it was a lot of work behind the scenes to get it started. Website, the application. We have a lot of great partners out there. Shout out to David. Shout out to Andy. I know you guys are watching. And shout out to the rest of the Attorney Shield team, all the attorneys and all the people that make it work behind the scenes. So I appreciate you guys. It's not easy. It's still not easy. We have exciting updates coming up. So I can't wait to announce that to everybody. Not right now, but I will just say, thank you. I appreciate you becoming a founding member. I'm sorry that you've had to, most people I talk to have had some sort of bad interaction with law enforcement, and it's sad, but that's what we're trying to help fix, right? We're trying to come together to change policing in America.
Absolutely. Hey, not that long ago, I was on the bus. The bus driver started giving me the business, so I started recording. So he got off the bus and went across the street. There happened to be a police station there, and I'm like, oh my God. And then on top of that, that was the same police station that I got beat up at. I'm like,
wow.
Oh no. So the police come onto the bus, didn't ask me my name, didn't tell me to stop recording, handled it real nice. They asked me to get off the bus, to drive me anywhere I liked. And of course they're like, now make sure you post this to YouTube.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
that's the ego slipping in.
Guys like you are making a big difference, dude.
Yep, that's the ego. That's the ego slipping in. Thank you, man. I appreciate your support.
You got it. Take care.
Take care, Casey. Bye.
Thanks.
Let's call somebody else. Everybody signing up for Attorney Shield. I'm going to be giving away a lot of free Resist Tyranny t-shirts. That's my favorite design, the Resist Tyranny. I'll show you what it guys looks like right now. I don't use I just want to let everybody know. Shout out to Mike. He prints all my shirts. He's a local business on Long Island. I didn't want to work with any of the bigger companies. I wanted to work with somebody on Long Island. So this is the Resist Tyranny shirt here. It's one of my favorites. And if you wanted to pick one up without buying Attorney Shield, you can use LI20 for 20% off. But this is the one that's going to come with all your Attorney Shield orders. But please email me your address, your shirt size, and a link and a screenshot of that you bought Attorney Shield, and I will send it right out to you. Again, we use a small business, so just give us some time, be patient with us, but we'll make sure to give it out to you, okay? Let me see. Let's call somebody else. I'm surprised we have, over 1,000 people in here watching still. It's crazy. I mean, we're just calling we the people. This is a long live stream. Been on here for 58 minutes. Call-in show, giveaways, everything. Oh, we're going to call. Hold on.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. How about actually watching while I'm working right now.
Oh yeah, what do you do for work?
I'm a CPA.
Oh, cool. So I might hire you to go look into Patrick Psycho Writers. I need you to look into that asset forfeiture fund.
Ever since you did that video, I've been really interested on probably doing a potential audit of just like requesting and doing a FOIA on some government documents and things like that.
Right.
I am from the Illinois area, and so when I saw your video from Berwyn, I have a couple of clients in that area, and they've told me a couple different stories. I'm not going to go into super detail. There's two stories I do want to tell you. So my client has a couple businesses in the Berwyn area, and his wife actually got in a car accident with a Berwyn police officer, in that he wasn't looking at what he was doing. He was texting while driving, and he collided with my client's wife. Wow. And what they did was, so they had a lawsuit, but what happened was they closed down the whole block for a couple blocks, and they did like a police perimeter, and they closed down the whole street basically, and everyone was like, kind of, what's going on? And my client's mother was like, what are you doing? She didn't really want to do any like litigation because they have businesses in that area.
Right.
And my client was really adamant of like, no, we need to make this right. Like they totaled this car. And the wife had to go to the hospital and get a couple things. But so they did some litigation on that piece. There was another client that I had that in that area, in that Berwyn area. I can't remember if it's specifically Berwyn or not, but he got also into another accident, but this was with a sister of 3 police officers in the area that I believe that the police officers were stationed at in the city. And they all came to the police, they all came to the accident. So there's probably really like the 3 brothers that came.
Right.
And then they had, their backup, and they were talking with the sister and saying like, hey, what happened? What's going on? Meanwhile, my client was the one that actually got hit. And my client was like, what's going on here? And they were already starting to, basically write the story that, it was my client's fault and everything like this. And once again, this client had businesses in that area, and he kind of went to the mayor and was like, dude, what's going on here? Like, this isn't cool. Like this, your guys are basically coming against me because, the sister hit me, and just because her brothers were part of the police, they were trying to push it that way. But eventually, they made it right, and they didn't charge him with anything or anything like that. But those were the 2 areas the 2 stories that I had from the Berwyn area.
Yeah, the Berwyn area is, I'm still right now, the federal lawsuit's ongoing with Berwyn, Illinois. Still, we just did video depositions. I've heard that I know that Berwyn, and I've heard Cicero are some of the most corrupt towns in Illinois, and in addition to Dolton, I guess, what we're talking about today. So in addition to Tiffany Henyard. But yeah, you guys got a lot of, bad policing out there in Illinois, low standards.
Yeah.
Well, man, it was nice talking to you. I appreciate you signing up for Attorney Shield. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Everybody's so nice. I'm missing the report. Is it on right now? Where's the report? Let's watch it together. We're here for a long time. Let's see. I don't see the report anywhere. Where does anybody seeing the report on what's going on with Lori Lightfoot? Tell me where it is so I can look it up. The billboard gets extreme reactions. Yes, Cicero was forced to refund my police tow. They are based. Respect. Let me know if we could see the Lori Lightfoot. Hold on, let me see something. I mean, I don't see what she could possibly find that anybody else couldn't find. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, wait.
Tea with the trustees in this room, 14700 Evers,
Lester Long Fieldhouse will be tea with the
Can you guys hear?
trustees, 9:30 a.m.
Let me know in the chat if you can hear.
All the people we see here.
Put a 1 in the chat.
We definitely want to see you guys Tuesday. We have awesome information every second. I'm sorry, this Saturday.
So those are the trustees.
We definitely
Brittany
have
Norwood.
awesome information
I forget
that
the
we
rest of their
also
names.
share on those second Saturdays of every month. So please, please, please come out and join us. It's actually for you, the residents. Of course, you know, in the board meeting, you don't get a chance to, it's supposed to be citizens address instead of citizens comments. So this is the time for you to come out and tell us what you want to see done, and hopefully we can get those things taken care of. So please come out this Saturday, not Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. right here in this very room. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee
So this
Brown.
is live from the
Any
Dolton
additional comments from the
Trustees
board?
YouTube page, YouTube channel.
May I be recognized? Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to say thank you all for coming out. As everyone knows, this information tonight, everybody has been waiting on. So good to see a lot of Dolton residents out just because they want to know what's going on with their tax dollars. Please just give Mayor Lightfoot the respect. It's a wealth of information based on what was just given to us. And once we intake this information, please just work with us on our next steps of whatever we get. I
don't think the super mayor shows up for this meeting.
Just let everybody know
This is their
that
meeting on the side.
at this time, if anyone was at the meeting on Monday, you guys see that we are in a financial crisis.
$6
And
million
I want you
in
to
debt.
Trust your trustees that we are
Deficit,
working for
$6
you.
million deficit.
Thank you.
That's a lot of their product.
Thank you very much. Trustee Norwood.
Mayor Pro Tem, may I be recognized? Okay, I think it is yes. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I would just first like to say that I am so happy to see everyone. You all know what they say, a family that stays together, a family that prays together, stays together, okay? So I'd also like to just thank our residents, right? 2 Dolton residents. We know that these last 3 years have been a little difficult for us, right? We've had to make a lot of tough decisions regarding the town as a board. And I thank you all for trusting us, believing in us in the process, and knowing that we have a plan. We have a plan. I think that these last 3 years have made us stronger than ever before. I just want you all to know that I love you guys, and tonight is a good night.
One last thing, Mayor Pro Tem. We definitely want to thank Mayor Lightfoot for taking on, when I tell you, this devastating task. We thank her for taking on this task and helping not only the trustees, but also the residents. Thank you, Mayor Lightfoot.
I mean, for $500 an hour, I would have done it. I would have done it for $250 an hour.
A few other acknowledgements. I want to make sure that we would be, partnership has been critical for the Board of Trustees and the village as well. Dolton Park District has been a tremendous partner to us, so I want to make sure we give the space and having the meeting rooms when we've been locked out of our own Village Hall taxpayer dollars. So we want to give a round of applause to Commissioner Sandra Wells is there. I saw Commissioner Gail Towers. I know Commissioner Willis Harris is pretty close, as well as our president, Cleo Jones. Want to give them a round of applause. I don't know if I missed Commissioner Rochelle if he's present, but thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. This partnership means everything to the community and is part of the way that we move forward. So we want to give that acknowledgement. Further acknowledgement to the hard-fighting Dolton firefighters who come and who show up every day for us through we want to know the community loves you, and we appreciate everything that you're doing, and we are working hard to get you guys made whole and made correct.
Yeah, because
I will have a few other comments about the report. To preface the report and some of the things, we did make sure that it was an independent report. So the board was kind of given some kind of snippets ahead of time, but we wanted to also maintain the integrity of independence. So there are some things we'll be seeing for the first time, some things we've had kind of a heads up to, but it's given us some direction. So I'll preface some more comments. At Monday's board meeting, there were also some actions voted on by the Board of Trustees that have left confusion or ambiguity, because the board has voted to begin some layoffs for budgetary reasons, and all of those have not been implemented at this time, or they're in various phases. So we are working with our attorneys. So I'll ask if Attorney McGrath can kind of also give an update to the community on what's going on there.
I thank you, Trustee. A couple of updates since the meeting on Monday night, which a lot of items were brought out, specifically the village's finances, and why we're here tonight to go into more detail. But the board has decided to implement a hiring freeze. It was not able to be put on this agenda in time, but they want to know that, let the residents know that there's going to be a hiring freeze. That the village is just not able to hire any more employees in any department. There were some layoffs, and there's most likely going to be more layoffs, unfortunately, in the future. Since Monday's meeting, there's also been a number of instances of harassment in the workplace, threats to employees and elected officials. I have advised all staff and employees to document those incidents, and we are going to forward them to the Cook County Sheriff's Police Department, who by ordinance is the Inspector General for the Village of Dolton, and they will have the stronger arm to take action in regards to workplace harassment, retaliation, political work happening in the workplace, those kind of things. The ordinance, you can get a copy of it. It was passed about 10 years ago, but the clerk can get a copy and post it. And I think it'd be a good idea to let everyone know what the sheriff is authorized to look into, and it's a lot of it. Once again, based on the board's directive, different individuals aren't following the board's directive. There was a deputy chief that was placed on administrative leave. He disregarded that and showed up the very next day. He then received a notice that he was terminated, and he despite being notified that he was terminated and in discussions with the Fraternal Order of Police, the FOP, he again showed up today. Once again, the mayor has changed the locks at the village hall. Everyone recall how orderly and how nice it was to walk into the village board meeting on Monday night when the Madam Clerk and the trustees had key fobs to get into the village. Once again, this is about the third time that she has changed the locks, so the elected officials do not have access and cannot get into the.
How dare she change the locks? Who do you think you are? You are the mayor. You are a public servant. You change the locks on elected officials. They are the board of trustees. And shame on Lewis Lacey, the fake police chief, wannabe police chief. It's ridiculous. This guy, he refuses to leave after being suspended.
Village Hall, which belongs to the people. I got a call from an attorney this afternoon who unfortunately says I have a couple lawsuits that I have to file against the village. It's been pending in court, and I can't serve the village because I can't get to the clerk because the doors to the village hall are locked. So it's causing some real issues, and federal judges are aware of what's going on. But the locks have changed. Emails were shut off, and I had heard that Mr. Lacey and others have brought in their own IT person in an effort to gain access to their emails that were shut down. I don't know the status of that, but there's a lot of stuff that happens really, really quick.
Lewis Lacey, the disgraced, supposed to be former acting police chief who couldn't pass a simple exam and thinks that every single person in the United States has to identify themselves and obey law enforcement no matter what they say, just hired an IT person to get access to his emails because he was put on administrative leave and they were shut down, but he's trying to. That's scary. When the administration and the police chief doesn't want to listen to the legislative branch of this village and they don't want to listen to courts and they just do what they want to do. That's serious tyranny, ladies and gentlemen. It's scary.
Things happen every day. You just cannot believe what's going on with this administration. But we're doing our best. These board members are doing their best. Ms. Lightfoot has a very good presentation for everyone, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions after, but I think we can move on from there.
Okay, thank you for that update, Attorney McGrath. So that, having said that, we're going to move to the next item on the agenda. We have a few, I think I would say, quicker points that we need to vote through, and then we'll go into the presentation. But I don't think that should take extremely long. I think we've all had the opportunity to vet these items. So I'll turn over to Village Clerk Allison Key.
Impersonating a police.
Again, most of you guys know that my minutes are never put on the agenda for the regular board meeting, so I have to get them approved here. So I'll quickly go through the minutes, dates, and ask for the board's approval. So I'm asking for approval for minutes for May 6th, May 13th, June 3rd, and July 1st. I'm asking that the board would approve the 4-minute dates for minutes.
So moved.
Okay, Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next we have nothing under old business. For new business, we put on here, we are still in, this is still a work in progress, but it will be one of the things we are working towards to move the village forward as one of our solutions. We are going to be reassigning the board committees so that we can reinstitute the finance committee, police and fire, personnel committee, housing committees. So that will be forthcoming on an upcoming agenda. We're still kind of identifying, I think we have the chairs identified, but we want to make sure that we round it out with good talent. So that will be coming on an upcoming agenda. Item B, we put out an RFP for review for bids on a new towing company or new towing contract. Want to highlight that we did it in the RFP format, so that way we can make sure we get the best bang for our buck. We made sure that there are 2 current tow companies that received the notification, as well as the notification being placed in the public newspaper, the Chicago Tribune. And at this moment, is my understanding, we have received 1 bid in for that contract. So we will ask, I will be asking for a motion.
I'm just going to mute it for a quick second. Imagine being, because they're not talking about anything that's relevant to what we're trying to talk about. We're waiting for Lori Lightfoot, the ex-mayor of Chicago, and her report that she's doing on Tiffany Henyard. Very interesting to see that. Imagine being fired from your job and then just showing up the next day and saying, well, I'm just going to continue to be here. I'm just going to continue to work because who's going to stop me? I am the acting police chief. Commander Riley, the racist Commander Riley's not going to stop him. No other law enforcement officer is going to stop him. Who's going to stop him? The board of trustees you're seeing right in front of you. Who's going to stop this tyrant from being a police chief when he was put on administrative leave? That's the scary part. Where's the FBI? Like, they have corruption divisions. Like, I don't get it. Like, this is absolutely insane what's going on here in Dolton. Thanks for becoming a member, Dorothy. Appreciate it.
Vote on this new one. Will they still be towing for the village because we have a current contract?
So this proposal would be for them to be the second company while we review their contract. I will say the reason for this RFP going out are numerous complaints that we're receiving on various pricing being done for individuals being told. People being told for one day at 500, 700, and fluctuating rates. My concern being that they are violating their contract, is not benefiting the residents of Dolton, and we wanted to make sure that, we want to make sure that we have consistency in the towing fee, and we have a company that's willing to work with the administration as well, and most importantly with the residents. I did highlight or note in the bid that was given, it was a fee for the first day of $225, $25 going back to the residents of the village of Dolton for each tow that's gone in there, and they've promised to be good community partners. Additionally, they have a tow contract with the city of Chicago, so they are a very large and reputable company. But To answer your question, because I did kind of ramble a lot of things off there, but I just felt triggered. Something came through me. The reason was because of contract disagreements. At this moment, it will be 2 companies, but as we review their contract, it may go down to 1.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that on record, because we don't want any pending litigation until we find out exactly what's going on, that they will remain in rotation until we move further. That's all. Thank you.
So noted. Any additional comments?
And I'm sorry, that's just for the tow company that we approved in 2021, because although we found out that there's 2 tow companies, we only approved 1.
Correct.
There's tow truck companies, ladies and gentlemen, operating inside of Dolton, extorting people, residents, and only one of them was ever approved by the Board of Trustees. So I assume the other one's one of Tiffany's burger joint associates. She likes to surround herself with thugs and goons. I've met them personally. They've tried to intimidate me at the meeting. Just ridiculous.
Any additional comments?
Let's get to this report.
Hearing none, I'll ask Clerk Key for a roll call, please.
Trustee Norwood. Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, I'm gonna switch the order around quickly. I'm gonna take D before C. Item D is an ordinance. I want to make sure I get the terminology. I got it. Do we have a number on there already? 24-008, an ordinance amending the village code to add the requirement of 2 signatures on check to allow the mayor pro tem the authority to sign documents. This motion is put in place. The current ordinance has 2 signers on our bank account, the mayor and the clerk, which is the rightful way. We have challenged that before and had other court proceedings. This ordinance would allow for, if the mayor refuses to do her fiduciary duty to sign checks that the board have approved, it makes sure that the mayor pro tem can sign in her absence. Again, only in the absence or refusal, because we are recognizing that many cases a refusal to sign, which are delaying many projects similar to this park district and other items. So we've been able to utilize this mechanism to make sure village business continues and goes forward in the proper manner. So and this is a procedural thing that we need, as we have been in communication with the bank, because at this moment we only have the clerk is the only person that will be authorized, which is if the mayor refuses to sign. So this gives us the mechanism needed for the bank to authorize these signatures as well. So that's the reason for this. I motion that ordinance 24-008 be approved, and I'll ask for a second. Hearing a motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Key, roll call, please.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Where's the super mayor?
Okay, and then we're going to cycle back to item C, which is the presentation and preliminary findings from former Mayor Lightfoot. I have a couple of comments. I don't know if any board members had comments too before I segue to Mayor Lightfoot. I'm going to do both. So this process started and the request started because for I would say up to at least up to a year, our administration and more importantly the residents have not had the opportunity to know what's going on financially with the records in our town. We've also looked at the investigation into what happened in Vegas, and we were not able to get answers.
This is like a movie.
While we are aware that there are FBI subpoenas and a probable FBI investigation, we feel and felt the need for some answers that the community deserves, that this board deserves, and that in order for us to be on solid footing to make a plan. From the pieces that I've seen, it mirrors exactly what we knew, is that we are in a dire financial position. That is something that I think as the numbers come can be extremely frustrating to the residents of this community.
I just want to say something. Again, I'm on the side of freedom, anti-tyranny and transparency, and accountability for these government officials. If if you're in such financial dire straits, I mean, you should know this because you are a board of trustee member. If you're in such, why would you hire Lori Lightfoot for $500 an hour to conduct an investigation when the FBI is already investigating? You could have investigated yourself. I mean, you're a board of trustee member. I mean, I would have done it for you for free. I mean, what Lori Lightfoot doesn't have any more authority than I would if you asked me to investigate, or if you asked anybody else to investigate, except she's charging you $500 an hour for a town that's, you know, in dire straits, $6 million deficit, getting their police cars repossessed, or at least the bank's threatening to repossess the police vehicles. Just doesn't seem like a good spend of money, you know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know.
And we want to make sure that we are recognizing where we are and using this as a jumping point to we are.
First and foremost, I want to just emphasize a couple points
that
Trustee House and others have made. First of all, thank you to the trustees.
Seems like a
to Madam
political
Clerk,
stunt to me, hiring her for $500 an hour.
Mike McGrath and Bert Odelson.
She's not a real investigator.
This has been a challenging investigation, to say the least, because we have not received the level of cooperation from the mayor and her team.
Because you have no authority. You don't have subpoena powers. You don't have anything. Of course, a criminal, a corrupt, tyrannical criminal like Mayor Tiffany Henyard, of course, is not going to just comply. You need subpoena power. You need to be able to do something about it.
That I would have hoped. Nonetheless, we've had, I think, a breakthrough that's allowed us to be here in front of you today to give you the information that I know the trustees for sure and the members of the public have been seeking for some time. But I do want to emphasize this is just preliminary. We have more work to do, but as Trustee House said, we believe that it was very important to come before the members of the public so you would have some context for what the current state of your finances are
as I'm charging you $500 an hour. Again, that's why I hate politics, left and right. This is all politics.
Government. As has been alluded to, I think there's going to have to be some tough decisions that are made, but you've got to make that with as complete a set of information as possible. And that's what this presentation is intended to do. Our work is ongoing, and we expect to finish with in expedited fashion. But as I said, we wanted to get to you as quickly as possible. A couple of points, just so we're all, I'm not an accountant, and I suspect many of you in the room are not, but we will be covering some accounting terms and wanted to just make sure that everybody had the same basic level of understanding as we go through these slides. We're going to talk about how the Village of Dolton handles its accounting system. We'll talk about in length and detail about the
let's get to it.
preliminary.
Come on.
So let me just jump right into it.
There you go.
Many of you know that the village, in the same manner as other municipalities in the state, accounts for its finances using what's called fund accounting. That means, that's just a fancy word of saying the expenses and the revenues are divided up into specific buckets of dollars, and those funds are what we're going to be talking about. The village maintains three categories of fund: a general governmental fund, the proprietary fund, and a fiduciary fund. All right. Under each category,
fancy slideshow.
I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Amanda, who will go into more detail about these different funds. Go ahead, Amanda. Sorry about that.
So within each category, so within each category of funds, there are underlying funds that are used to account for resources that are for different purposes. The first category, governmental funds, includes the general fund, which is going to be the focus of our presentation this evening. And the general fund is what's used to account for the day-to-day operations of the village. Additionally, there are what are known as special revenue funds. These are specific funds for specific purposes. This includes the motor fuel tax and TIF money. The final governmental fund is debt service funds, where the village's debt obligations are accounted for, which is primarily the public bond debt. The final two categories of funds, which we will not be covering today, are proprietary funds, which account for transactions that are more business in nature, operations that should be funded by customer payments. That's the water fund, the sewer fund, and the fitness center. And the final are fiduciary funds, which are held for non-governmental parties, and that is the village's pension trust funds.
So let's jump into the specifics. Many of you know that the village's fiscal year runs from May 1 to April 30th. So it's those 12 months, but they span 2 years. Certain financial disclosures are mandated under state law that the village reports to the comptroller of the state each fiscal year. Two documents that we're going to talk specifically about are the annual financial report, and you see the citation there, it's a state law, and the audited financial statements. The village has not, and let me repeat that, the village has not complied with these statutory requirements since fiscal year 2021. There's no annual financial report available after 2021 and no audited financial statements after 2021. So what that means is the information that we're providing you has not been thoroughly audited by a CPA, but we do have information coming from an entity that essentially serves as the finance department of the village. Historically, from what we can tell, the village has had small or no full-time financial staff. At various times, even though statutorily there's a provision for a city treasurer, none exists and hasn't for some time. There's a provision for a finance director. There's been intermittent people that have served that role, but that role has been vacant as of May of this year. And before that, the person who held the role started working part-time as of the end of December in 2023. So as you can see, given the lean or no financial staff, there's a lot of dependence upon the John Kasparic accounting firm, which is functionally operated as the village's finance department for some time. What we have examined are monthly financial reports from January of 2021 to May of 2024, produced by the Kasparic firm. And as I mentioned, due to the village's failure to conduct an audited financial statement, we have to caveat the accuracy of the information, but we feel fairly confident based upon lining out not only the monthly reports, but looking at bank statements that match up with the information that's in the financial reports. And we've had the opportunity to talk to some of the folks at the Kasparic firm who are responsible for managing the finances of the village, and that work is ongoing. As of May 30th of this year, the village's general fund was in a net deficit position, meaning that there is insufficient funds in that general fund. As we mentioned, the general fund is used to account for the majority of the village's day-to-day operations, including payroll and vendor payments. The village's special revenue fund and debt service fund, however, are in a positive position, but each of those funds are restricted funds, meaning you cannot borrow from one to give to the other. And that is what's causing, in part, the financial crisis. What's next you can see is a graphic that depicts where we started as of April, where the village started as of April of 22, with positive of $5.6 million in the general fund, and where we are as of May of 2024.
Take a look. April 2022, they had a $5.61 million surplus. May of 2024, $3.65 million in deficit. Tiffany Henyard should be ashamed of herself. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Which is a negative 3.65 million.
Mayor Lightfoot, if I may.
Yes.
Really quick, I just want to keep pointing this out. The Dolton trustees didn't need to hire Mayor Lori Lightfoot to explain the deficit to the residents of Dolton at $500 an hour. Somebody said this is a $10 an hour slideshow, but I thought that was funny. But I just want to make it clear. I don't take political sides. Politicians are all corrupt. They don't care about you. They care about their power. They care about enriching themselves. That's what they care about, not you. I promise you, no one on either side of the aisle cares about you. I promise you that. We, the people, need to care about ourselves and come together and affect real change. But again, $500 for her to explain this. Oh my God, it's frustrating.
Just kind of as a summary now, just quick numbers. So in a 2-year span, we're talking about a $9 million swing or $9 million of deficit over that course of time. Would that be close to accurate?
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. Turning now to the increasing expenditures of the village. Over the last 3 fiscal years, the average monthly expenditures of the village have increased by nearly 30%. As you can see in the graphic, in fiscal year 2022, on average, the village spent about $1.9 million a month. But in the last fiscal year, that amount had climbed to $2.5 million. These increasing expenditures have not been accompanied by corresponding increases in revenue. Again, as you see in the graph on the blue bars, the revenues have remained relatively the same over that time period, just over $24 million, while expenditures have climbed from $23 million in 2022 to $30 million in 2024. Ultimately, in fiscal years 2023 and 2024, expenditures exceeded revenue. Specifically in 2024, it was over $5 million more in expenditures than revenues. To look further at the increasing expenditures, the table on the screen highlights the 2 village departments that are the main drivers of this spending increase: the General Administration and Administrative Compensation Department and the Police Department. Turning first to the General Administration Department, Turning first to the general administration line, the increase in expenditures here has grown about approximately 47%. This was around $6.4 million in fiscal year 2022, and it was $9.4 million.
I just want to point out, millions and millions of dollars goes to the police department. The heroes that shot an unarmed, 19-year-old seven times, who think that everybody else who identify themselves, who are racist, say that anybody that's lighter than them is white. It's absolutely ridiculous using racial slurs. This police department is completely corrupt, and they get millions and millions of dollars, and they get millions and millions of more dollars, just like Patrick Psycho Ryder does for asset forfeiture, stealing your property, stealing our property and money without warrants.
$1 million in fiscal year 2024. There have been increases in general administration spending in nearly every area, but there are a handful that stick out the most. As you can see on the first line, the largest driver of this increase is a more than double change in liability insurance cost. It's gone from 1.2 million in fiscal year 2022 to 3.2 million in fiscal year 2024. Other areas where we see large increases are miscellaneous expenditures, settlements, legal fees, and telephone.
Let me just add regarding the legal fees. These are everything that we're representing to you tonight are things that have been booked in one of the general ledgers or otherwise. We know that the legal fees that have been booked so far are underestimated because there are a number of legal fees that have yet to be paid. And obviously with the litigation that's been filed, particularly by vendors who have not been paid, those legal fees will definitely this is a very conservative estimate of what those fees actually are. Let me drill a little bit down also in what we're seeing so far with the police department. Those expenditures have increased approximately 21% since FY22. Some of that is obviously driven by the union contracts and making sure that there's retro pay and that the police officers are compensated according to the collective bargaining agreement. Within the police department expenditures, categories with large increases include overtime, other miscellaneous expenses, and I will tell you we don't know exactly what that is, but we're working on unpacking that, contractual services, other professional services, and medical insurance. We wanted to highlight for you, particularly given overtime, what we saw as two outliers in officers, Officer Terry Young and Officer William Reed. Both of these individuals in the last 2 years have earned more in overtime than their base compensation.
There it is. There's the police corruption right here. Base compensation, $87,000, $114,000 in overtime, $102,000 in overtime. There it goes right there, ladies and gentlemen. Serious corruption. That's for her security detail. That's probably some of her goons that she works with.
And you can see these numbers here. Officer Terry Young in FY 2023 earned $194,290 total, given the base salary and the overtime. And then in FY 2024, that increased to $227,351, combining the base salary and the overtime. Officer Reed for FY 2023 had a total earnings of $145,450, and in FY 2024, $192,732. We thought it also important for you to know that Acting Chief Lacey has accumulated overtime. It's our understanding that he is not part of the collective bargaining unit and has not been for some time, which under normal circumstances would mean that he is not entitled to overtime. But as you can see here, for FY22, FY23, and FY24, and we're now in fiscal year 2025, through those 4 years, he has accumulated $215,747,000 just in overtime. Now we're going to move, ladies and gentlemen, to unfunded expenditures. And this is really focused on, as we alluded to, we're going to move to unfunded expenditures. And this is really focused on checks that have been approved by the board from warrant lists that have come before the Board of Trustees, but held and not sent to the vendors. Based on the records that we have reviewed since March of 2023, the village has been unable to pay all of its monthly expenditures with available cash balance. Since that time, nearly every month, a portion of the checks approved and printed have been held by the village due to unavailability of funds. Per records from the John Kasperick firm, as of June 18, 2024, there are 589 checks totaling over $6 million that have been approved, printed, but not transmitted to vendors. And that is a big driver of the deficit in the general fund. This over $6 million in held checks, I want to caution, does not account for additional monies potentially owed by the village to vendors for which checks have not even been printed. These categories, which we are looking into, include, for example, invoices that have been received by village departments, but for one reason or another may not have been entered into the accounting system, which is called My Viewpoint. These invoices could have been entered into the accounting system, but not been approved by department heads or by the village administrator. And this could also include invoices that have not been approved by payment for the Board of Trustees. You're aware that from time to time, the warrant lists are presented. The trustees say, pay this, not pay that. Well, those checks that are on the warrant list roll over from time to time. And it probably makes sense just to explain really briefly. There is not a centralized repository for vendors to put their checks in electronically, or their invoices, I should say, so that it's automatically in the system. It has to be either hand delivered or sent via email. It goes to the appropriate department head. Then it's up to that department head to approve and enter those invoices into the MyPoint system. And it depends upon the dollar amount of the invoice, who has final approval for those invoices to make it onto the warrant list. But that's the way the process works now. It will not surprise you that one of the recommendations that we will have when we finish our work is that the village invest in an automated system so that nothing falls between the cracks. The vendor will be able to see real time, where is my invoice moving through the system, and you'll know where it sits, either with the department head or otherwise.
All right, we'll turn now to discuss the cash status of the village. So the village has 22 different bank accounts. A majority of those bank accounts are designated for the special revenue funds or bond escrow funds. So the money in those bank accounts is restricted and shouldn't be used for day-to-day operations. I'll also note that these 22 accounts don't include the pension assets. The pension assets are held in separate trust accounts. Most of the village's expenditures each month are paid from one main operating bank account. As of June 30th, 2024, that bank account had a balance of $715,000. As of April 30th, 2021, that account had a balance of almost $1.5 million. So a decrease of over $750,000. In addition to the main operating account, historically, the village has held its excess cash in an account known as Illinois funds. Illinois funds are interest-bearing accounts that are managed by the...
You know, Tiffany's watching this and she's like, damn. She's like looking out the window all paranoid, like, is the FBI going to come raid my house?
Illinois Treasurer's Office that allow municipalities to earn interest on their excess cash balance. The balance in the Illinois funds account as of June 30th was only $3,900. As of April 30th, 2021, that balance was over $2 million. So the balance of excess cash has dropped by over $2 million in that time period. The monthly financial reports include a summary of the unrestricted cash balances of the village each month. Within these summaries, the balance reflected already accounts for those held checks that Mayor Lightfoot was just discussing, checks that have been issued but haven't cleared because they haven't been sent yet to vendors. What you can see on the chart is that the unrestricted cash balance of the general fund has dropped from almost $5 million as of April 2022, and it is now accounting for all of the checks that have yet to be sent, is now in a deficit position of over $5.5 million as of May of 2024.
We thought it was important to give you a little bit of insight into credit card use by village employees. We do not have complete information yet. It is our hope that we will get further cooperation and be able to have a complete picture of credit cards, but we wanted to share with you what we do know so far. We are aware that over this time period, from 2021 to the present, the village used 6 different credit cards at various points from January 2021 through May of this year. 4 American Express cards that appear to have been used by various folks within the police department. The statements for these accounts were addressed to Ernest Mobley, Robert Collins, and Louis Lacey.
Mayor, may I interject there for a moment? Because we have.
What do the police need American Express cards for? Are they like trying to rack up their mileage for Delta, or what are they spending all this money on? And again, she keeps telling you we don't have all the information because she couldn't get it. Tiffany Henyard's hiding it, and all her goons and corrupt law enforcement officers are hiding it. How are you going to get it if you have no authority whatsoever other than, a special investigator, just a fancy title? You have no legal authority to prosecute her, to subpoena her, to do any of that. So again, big waste of money, but we'll see what else she found out.
It was former Deputy Chief Mobley is present with us, and an amazing officer. So I'm certain there was no misuse or misconduct on that behalf. So I want to make sure I state that, because he has been an exemplary officer.
Yeah, all we know is what we've seen in the paper so far. We have not interviewed any of these folks to get a better understanding of the specifics around credit card use. We have some knowledge of that, but we'll share that as part of the final report. There's 1 American Express card for which statements are addressed to Keith Freeman, the village administrator, and there was a 1 Fifth Third card which statements are addressed to the village. We've been told that that card is no longer in use. We understand from the records we've received from the Kasperick company and interviews that we've conducted that receipts for credit card purchases are rarely provided. Further, we understand that the credit card balance, because it comes due, of course, every month, we all know that, is paid as a matter of course. And it was reflected in the accounting records as miscellaneous police department expenditures. We're looking into what is the reason and rationale for that. But what this means is that these credit card bills that are paid do not appear on warrant lists and are therefore not presented to the board for approval. Again, that will be a recommendation that we make, and the board is obviously aware of this issue, which is in part why they took the action that they took the other day to rein in the credit card spending. We also understand from the Kasperick company that the only time a credit card charge would be reflected on a warrant list is if a receipt is provided. And as I've said, our information is that the receipts are rarely provided. We want to highlight a couple of credit card purchases.
Is what? You see this right here? Plus 4,000, 5,000, Target, Wayfair.com, Walgreens, Best Buy, $33,000. What did you buy? What did she buy? I don't get it. That sounds like, I know somebody who spends a lot of money at Amazon for sure. I know a lot. They spend a lot, but
You're having the same reaction that we did when we saw this. So in particular, we were very concerned to see the top 3 purchases that were highlighted for you that were booked on January 5th of 2023. That's roughly $40,000, a little more than that, in credit card purchases on Amazon in the same day. And our understanding is that the village does not have an Amazon account. These are somebody using one of the credit cards and charging these amounts using your tax dollars.
They don't have an Amazon account, the village of Dolton. I mean, why would they? I mean, I guess they could. They don't have an Amazon account. Tiffany, is this your Amazon account? $33,000? Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Where is she? Needs to be hauled off to federal prison for a very, very, very long time, which I told her to her face. Go check out that video. I told her to her face, but
Suspect we're going to see, as you can see, expenditures at Target, Walgreens, Best Buy, a number of charges that raise questions in our mind. Are these legitimate purchases using the credit cards? What we've also found in the credit cards, I know that there's been a lot of interest in travel, and we are highlighting here on this slide some of the travel that is reflected in the Village credit cards. Birmingham, Alabama, and Montgomery, Alabama in March of 2023 with 5 known travelers. Washington, D.C. in 2023 with 4 known travelers. Las Vegas, Nevada with 8 known travelers. Jackson, Mississippi in June of 2023 with 3 known travelers. Austin, Texas in July of 2023 with 3 known travelers. Portland, Oregon in July of 2023 with 4 travelers. Central and Southern Illinois in September of 2023. I think you're aware of what happened during that time. 10 hotel rooms booked during that travel. Traveled to New York City in October of 2023, 1 traveler. Atlanta, Georgia in November of 2023, 1 traveler on the Village's credit cards. And I caveat that because we will and are continuing to look at, I'll say, cross-pollination between the Village and the township and the credit card use there as well. So let me summarize for you kind of what we presented, what we found so far regarding the finances. The general fund is used to pay the vast majority of the Village's expenses. As you heard, as of May 31st of this year, the fund had a negative balance of $3.65 million. The Village's general fund expenditures have exceeded revenues the past 2 fiscal years, ending April 30th, 2023 and April 30th, 2024. As of June 30th of this year, the cash on hand in unrestricted accounts is insufficient to cover the held checks valuing $6.1 million. We are in the current fiscal year of FY 2025, and the Village has no budget that's been passed this year. The Village's financial records have not been audited since FY 2021, and the Village has not filed the mandated state annual reports since FY 2021. So where are we in terms of next steps? Regarding the financial information, there's a lot more work that we need to do. As I indicated, we've just recently got a lot of information in the door that is reflected for the most part in this presentation, but there are other things that we have asked for, and we're hoping that we're going to get further cooperation from the Kasperic accounting firm. Additional details regarding credit card spending and any receipts that might exist. Detailed accounting records and reconciliations, check registers, which is important. Detailed accounting of inter-fund transfers and balances. What we're seeing, and we need to really look at the detail here, is that there is a transfer from one fund, in some instances there's restricted funds, into another fund and vice versa. Additional detail, we're looking at what are the financial policies and practices in place and whether or not those need to be changed, updated, or beefed up in any way. We are continuing to look at what happened in Las Vegas. There are 2 trips, one in May of 2022 and a second in May of 2023. And as I alluded to earlier, the relationship and the intermingling of funds and personnel with Thornton Township is something we're very focused on as well. We defer to the trustees.
They're all clapping. It's so sad because they don't even understand. Like, you just paid $500 an hour to find out things that somebody could have found out through a open records request, right? The $30,000 for Amazon, you could have found out what that was if you had subpoena power. You could have subpoenaed Amazon and found out exactly what Tiffany Henyard was buying at Amazon. You could have subpoenaed American Express for the detailed records as opposed to just statements, which, like I said, anybody can get statements from an open records. This is just one big open records request. You see me do open records all the time in all these municipalities, and that's what this is. This is just open records requests by Lori Lightfoot, and she's presenting them. You know, her whole presentation was basically, you know, they're spending a lot of your money. The government is spending a lot of your money, and we don't know what they're spending it on. We have no idea who's spending what. Just they're spending a lot of money. We don't know what it's about. You're in debt, and this country, I mean, this you know, it applies to this country as well. But this village is completely broke, and we have no money. We're paying out lawsuit after lawsuit and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in police overtime, even for the police chief, who's not supposed to get overtime as per the collective bargaining agreement. And, you know, there's no details. This was one big waste of time. And I get it. The residents are frustrated. I don't blame the residents. I blame the Board of Trustees. And obviously the number one person to blame is self-proclaimed super mayor Tiffany Henyard. Those are the government elected officials are who to blame in this. That's who's to blame. But the residents are being, you know, bamboozled here. You know, $500 an hour. I think she's gotten tens of thousands of dollars in total. I think $30,000 for a village that's millions of dollars in debt for that report. That's it. And then she's got more work to do for $500 an hour. I mean, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think in the chat. I don't know.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Mayor Lightfoot, her colleagues, as well as our legislative attorneys as well for the time and effort put into that. So again, I'll ask for a round of applause for the work that's been done. I'm going to defer to any of the board members, see if there's questions of the report that has been presented. Okay, I'm going to turn over to Trustee Norwood.
That was a lot to digest there.
Yes.
I just want for the residents because I know sometimes there are a lot of residents that still don't understand. For us trustees, our job is to oversee the finances. For the last 3 years, I know it looks as though there's been a lot of fighting, but we've been fighting for transparency so that things like this won't happen. We were locked out of my viewpoint maybe about a year or two ago. Once we did start sharing the receipts and the information with the residents, they stopped that, right? Police overtime. In the very beginning, we stated, hey, I wasn't even totally opposed to police detail of some sort, but what I stated was for how long and how many, right? That's important. And it was important because now they never gave us this information, and now we see that we're spending millions of dollars in overtime, and the only one really protected in Dolton is her, and it's not fair. Vendors, you all have heard me say for the last few years, bring RFPs in front of the board, bring RFPs in front of the board. It's extremely important that we have a process put in place so that as trustees, we can make the right decisions regarding vendors. We want these services to be provided to the residents. I want you all to know that we're never against you all receiving services, but we don't want to pay more. We don't want people receiving kickbacks and charging us way more for the services that the residents deserve. Hopefully, moving forward, we can get the mayor to work with us and provide some of this information. That's the hopes. But in the meantime, we'll continue to show up. We're going to continue to work with the residents. We're going to continue to get you the information, right? And Dolton, let's just hang in there. We're almost there. We're doing all the necessary steps in terms of a board, because we still want to
try to work with this administration to the end. Our goal is still to attempt, no matter what, for the residents. So I just want you all to know that we want to work together. That's the goal. We are put here for checks and balances, and hopefully they can start bringing things in front of us. Thank you.
Yeah. Comments? Okay. Okay. If you're okay, I'm gonna get Bert and Lori, and then I'm gonna let you and Lori be here for your comments. Yeah. Okay.
It's sad. It's sickening. People came last month when we got our tax bills in an uproar about the tax. Can y'all imagine when we do take initiative to even start straightening this out, how our tax bill is going to look? That $6.8 million didn't never come, and it was spent before deposited. It's simple math. $6 million, $6.1 million in checks sitting somewhere. $40,000 at Amazon. What a slap in the face to everybody that reside in 60419 zip code. The meeting, and Mayor Lightfoot, I'm so grateful for this information that you provided, because it takes somebody else to come in to show that we've been trying to stop this.
It doesn't take somebody to come out and show that the village that Tiffany Henry run the village to the ground. You are the board of trustees. I know I keep talking about this, but it's so frustrating. It really is, because they're trying to paint themselves as the heroes of this story, but they're not. Just like law enforcement always wants to broad stroke that they're heroes. They're not heroes here. They're not doing anything. Lori Lightfoot didn't do anything that anyone else couldn't do, ladies and gentlemen. What was spent on Amazon? What was spent in Las Vegas? We already knew the totals. The WGN has been reporting on the totals of everything for years now. I mean, we didn't get any information.
And we've been doing minimal damage. So could you have imagined if we just sat up there and approved everything that was going on? Because she's going to ride off in her BMW and we'll still be here stuck. We have been financially raped. And when people rape people, they get anything they deserve. I'm just going to say what I've been saying for months and months and months. The bag been empty in 2022. The bag, it was never anything in the bag. And you still continue to say, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying. Here is proof for everyone to see, and even the ones who doubt us.
We already knew
if
that.
You don't see through this, it's nothing I can say to you.
We already
even
knew,
last
we already knew
week,
this.
Sitting with Mayor Lightfoot, it's a punch in the gut. As the lady said from out of town, you've been hoodwinked, you've been bamboozled,
Led astray.
led astray. All of that. And for a person to sit there and constantly lie. Every board meeting, I don't say much because I just can't see how the girl tell all them lies like that. It's unbelievable for a person to say that and for people to believe. So we thank God for Mayor Lightfoot's being here today, her presentation. Now, if this doesn't open up the eyes to these residents and let us know what as we say, the black jobs mean black vote. Everybody tell somebody. February of 2025, clean house. Clean house. You got to. This is just unbelievable. I mean, to even sit here, even though I said last week, it's a stomach ache.
I've been punched all over tonight. It's ridiculous to see how our tax dollars have been recklessly spent by this young lady. So definitely give us time. Residents, we're asking you to work with us. We're doing our very, very best. So definitely hang in there with us. And thank you all again for coming out tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna also ask Attorney Olderson to comment on some of the work that he's been doing.
To try to right the ship. Without her and her skill and her staff, we wouldn't be sitting here tonight with this information for you. There is a lot of work to do. More financial discovery from Mayor Lightfoot, more layoffs and readjustment of personnel, leadership change at the police department, stopping of harassment of employees, and for us, the lawyers, trying to work with the 40+ lawsuits that have been filed against this village in the last 3 years. Our firm has not been paid for 3 years. Why? Because the mayor won't sign the checks in hopes of us leaving. She has a motion to fire us on every agenda and usually rails against us on every agenda. But I can tell you this, we're not leaving and we're staying with Dolton. I just ask as a human being, not as a lawyer, not as a politician, that the people of the village of Dolton stick with this board of trustees because they're heroic in and of themselves. And I don't say that because there's an election coming. You'll get plenty of information on that. But I say that because we have hard months ahead. Knowing these finances, knowing what we just went through to get some insurance for the village, which was extraordinarily difficult and incredibly costly, we have a lot of work to do to right the ship, a lot. So I want to thank Mayor Lightfoot, who I've known for many years and admired for many years, and her staff. And I certainly want to thank the Mayor Pro Tem and the trustees and your wonderful clerk who works under difficult conditions.
Just for everybody who's just joining, this is the Dolton, the Lori Lightfoot report. She basically didn't give us any information other than they're being hoodwinked and bamboozled by, people spending hundreds of thousands of dollars erroneously on trips to Las Vegas, Amazon, Best Buy, leased vehicles at 50% interest rates. Guess they don't have their credit together. Just a bunch of corruption, but no specifics. Like I said from the very beginning, Lori Lightfoot had no authority, no, investigative authority to find out any specifics, and she just didn't.
Attorney would take on that walk with the board, with the residents of this community.
I'm going to see if they have anything.
And it's exit. The board is here to answer questions, but I'm also serious about this hourly rate that I don't want to make sure we spend frivolously.
He's joking about Lori Lightfoot's hourly rate at $500 an hour. If you cared that much, trustee, you would have done it yourself. It's that simple.
Friends and family discount, I can assure you.
Friends and family discount.
But we want to make sure all comments are heard and rightfully so. The board is here, and we'll make some comments on what our next steps and our plan is, and we're here to hear from the residents after that.
Where's the specifics?
I just want to share a couple of final comments with you all. I know how I felt when I started seeing these numbers. So I can imagine how all of you are feeling after all this time being in the dark. And I just want to let you know this isn't just a job. This isn't just some task. We feel this. And so we have worked very, very diligently, very hard under difficult circumstances to get as much information as we could to share with you. You may hear a number of things in the coming days, but what I can assure you is the information that we have shared, that we're putting our names on, is drawn directly from the financial records of this village. We wouldn't be here sharing this information, advising the trustees and talking with legislative council if we didn't have confidence in the numbers. There are a number of other things we know, but we aren't ready yet. We got to verify them 20 ways from Sunday. But this, if you hear this is fake news, it's not real, no. This is real. The last thing I'll say is we figured that folks would probably want to take a little time to study these numbers in a little more detail. We have 100 copies of this deck that we will leave, paper copies. So after the meeting is over, you can feel free to come get them. First come, first serve. Don't worry, media. We've already shared the electronic copies with you all, so you should have that. But again, thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourselves and for your families and for your community.
These poor residents just keep getting scammed by their elected officials.
I'm going to pause briefly to give Mayor Lightfoot and our attorneys a moment to exit, and then we're going to make some final comments from the board in terms of next steps, and then we will open for
There's no
citizens'
next
address.
steps. The only thing that's going to take down Tiffany Henry is the. So this is live right here. Doesn't seem like they're all grabbing the report. Doesn't seem like much else is going on here, guys. All right, I want to call. Remember, just for anybody who wasn't here before, if you signed up for Attorney Shield with the link in the description, or one of my mods is going to post it in the chat. If you sign up for Attorney Shield within the next 24 hours, send me an email with your shirt size and your address. I will send you a Resist Tyranny shirt. Looks just like this. I'll show you right now. I'm going to send you a Resist Tyranny shirt for free as a gift from me, as a appreciation for you signing up for Attorney Shield and joining the movement to fundamentally change policing in America. So again, you have to email me with a screenshot of your order, confirmation that you receive in your email, as well as your address and your shirt size. And I work with a small business, so give us time to get that out there. Just communicate with me via email. So again, if you sign up for Attorney Shield, you get 10% off. Also, you get the free t-shirt as a gift from me within the next 24 hours. Also, with the I will be calling people. I'm going to pick up calling people right now. I've been getting a lot of emails, so I appreciate everybody who's been signing up for Attorney Shield. Thank you so much. You know, I don't take a dime from the company, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a sponsorship. This is not, this is just me promoting the company that I think is going to fundamentally change policing in America, and it's going to do something other than just we all just talk and talk and talk and talk. It's time to do something to combat these unions, to combat the corruption, to keep people going home safe. And to hold police officers accountable and expose them, which is what my goal is, to fundamentally affect change in our country. Let me see here. I'm going to call some more people now. Thank you all for signing up. Let's see. Bez. We're calling Bez right now. Bez, if you're still watching, answer the phone. And we don't have to talk about Attorney Shield. We can talk about anything you guys want. Anything you want. All right, let's call him.
Hello?
Hey, is this Bez?
John.
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. Hey, I'm just dropping my feet off. Could you call me back in 5 minutes?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm live. I'll call you back. No problem. No problem. Bye. Real life, live situations. He was dropping his kids off. So we'll call him back. Let's see here. Let's call. And remember, if I don't call you on the live stream, it's because I didn't have time. And, we've already been on here it's the longest live stream I've ever done, probably. So, let's see here. It's called Walter. I'm just going in order, guys. Did Walter leave me his phone number? Yes, he did. Thank you, Walter. All right. Let's get him. Let's call him. Press on police. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Walter.
Hey, I was just watching you on TV.
Hey, Walter. How are you? Thank you. Thank you so much for signing up for Attorney Shield, man. I really appreciate it. You know, your support means a lot to me. Thank you. How you doing? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I was shocked that I'm North Carolina, Shelby, North Carolina.
Shelby, North Carolina.
It's about halfway between Charlotte and Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just sitting down here on the bed watching you on TV with my two dogs.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you never have to use Attorney Shield, but you know, just that you have it to protect your rights and everything. And make sure you set it up, put your license, your registration, your insurance card in there, set up your emergency contact, everything like that, set up your security pin. So
Yeah, I was just working on that.
Good, Walter.
Yeah, like you say, I hope I never have to use it, but
Right.
you know, it better be safe than sorry.
Right. It's like insurance. It's like insurance. It's like
Sure
insurance.
is. Probably get more money out of that, more good out of that though than you do insurance.
That's for sure. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Hey, you gonna send me one of them T-shirts?
Yes, sir. You just have all you have to do with the Resist Tyranny t-shirt. I got one for you. Anybody who signs up in the next 24 hours, I got you guys a Resist Tyranny t-shirt. All you have to do is send me your address and your shirt size, and I will have. I work with a local print shop. I don't work with like a big, a big one. I work with one locally here on Long Island to support small businesses. Friend of mine. So we're going to get those out to everybody that signed up in the next 24 hours from the start of this live. So yes, sir, we'll get one to you.
Yeah, I sent to you emailed a screenshot of my
I saw that.
The receipt and the address is on there. You
Right.
can get that off
Yep.
the address.
Yep, I can get your address off of that.
The credit card billing information is same as my residence as address.
Okay.
So,
All
I'll
right.
look forward to it. I always wanted to get some of that merchandise.
There you go. I want to give back, and really, because the larger we grow, the more effective it becomes, Walter. The larger Attorney Shield becomes, the more effective it becomes, because now law enforcement officers are going to take note about what's going on here, and they're going to start acting differently on traffic stop. That's the hope, right? Or if they don't, we get to expose them.
Yeah, I was stopped and going home to see my kids a few weeks ago, and the guy stopped me for doing. I looked at when he turned around on me. I looked at my speed. I was doing like 61, 62 at the most. And he said, "You going a little fast there, And I said, "You stopped me from doing 5 miles over the speed limit." He said, "Well, you're doing a little bit more than that." I said, "Well, I got a dash cam. I can look back on that, know exactly what I was doing." I think that dash cam kind of saved me from getting.
Yes, I advise everybody to get a dash cam. Everybody should have a dash camera in their car, because when they lie and they say how much you're going, how fast you're going, did he leave really quick in a hurry?
And he knew, I was from North Carolina, out of state, probably wouldn't come back to fight it, but I was coming back because I knew I wasn't going that fast. It's like hey, you got me on TV now. Ain't that something?
Yeah, yes, sir. Calling you live. I'll be calling everybody else. Offline when I get off here, but I wanted to call some people live.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I didn't know whether you call or not. I said, he probably tells
I'm a
everybody
man of my
that.
word, Walter. I'm a man of my
I know
word.
that, you pretty straight up, man.
Yes, sir. All right, Walter. It was nice talking to you. I'm going to call somebody else now. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'll get that shirt over to you ASAP, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it, man.
All right, no problem.
Thank
Bye.
you for what you do, too.
All right. Thank you. Bye. All right, we're going to call more people. Walter's watching. I heard myself in the background. My We the People shirt was recognized in Home Depot. This veteran appreciates you. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Thank you for your service. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's call somebody else. Again, if I don't get to you, don't worry. I'm going to spend most of my time later today or even tomorrow and the next day to be calling people. Thanks for being. Let's see here. Okay, this person didn't want to be on a live stream. That's fine. If you don't want me to call you on a live stream, I think I saw Bez said that he was ready. Let's call him back. The person that was dropping off his kids. It's great talking to you guys. I should do this all the time. I should just like, I got to get like a 1-800 call-in number, right? Hey, Bez, how are you? You free now?
Yeah. Thanks for calling me back.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I signed up for attorney sheet because I think I really need it. I'll send you a video in my email too. That's what literally happened to me yesterday. But unfortunately, I'm in Canada. I don't have any of the rights you guys do. Not even close. So they assaulted me, kicked me out for just asking for information.
Wow. And you have video of this? Do they have body cameras in Canada?
They started rolling them here apparently, but it's never gonna get to us. I don't know when it's gonna get here to Vancouver. But hey, for past 6 months, I'm just trying to ask them questions. They beaten my buddy 2 nights ago at gunpoint when he was buying pizza for his family. Put him in the back of the car for 2 hours. This is 2 nights ago. And 2 hours later, they're like, oh, sorry, mistaken identity. And released him. And now he doesn't speak any English, so I tried to help him the next day at the police station to get the 911 call, the description, the report, the dash cam videos. They kicked us out from the police station. I said, go do it online. He said, no, he wants to do it in person. He can't do it online. And then yesterday, we called the headquarters, said they're refusing to provide service. Where should we go? The headquarters said, come here. So I went there, and within seconds, literally, she came out barking, and you can watch the video how they assaulted me.
Wow! Please send that over. Just put assault in the title. I get a lot of emails, so I'll be sure to check it out. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you the full link. I'll upload the full video tonight. I'll send you the link.
All right. Thank you so much.
Everything you do, man.
I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Wow. He said he was assaulted yesterday by the police. Again, all because he's asking questions. Wow. It's insane. I just want to make it clear, ladies and gentlemen, I do not take any money from this company. This is my company. If it grows, obviously that's the point, is to be successful, to not only affect change, but to get back out of the hard work me and my partners have been putting into this, and the amount of money and finances we've invested, and time and hard work. But as of right now, none of my partners, Lackluster or any of my other partners, we're not taking any money out of the company. I saw a couple questions that I can't address right now, but I will be. There's a major announcement regarding Attorney Shield coming in the next couple of weeks, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's see here. I'm getting so many emails. I'm gonna have to go through and make this whole list to get everybody their T-shirt. Let's see. Oh, Alfredo, if you're watching, hopefully people are still watching. I know this is not like my most exciting live ever, but we got to expose some corrupt government officials, and I get to talk to some of you, and eventually I'll talk to all of you who've signed up. I wish I could just call every single person, but that's set. We're how big are we? We're 780 something, 89,000 strong. That'd be a lot of phone calls. Yes, the money goes right back into the company. That's for sure. Hey, how are you? Hey. I just wanted to call. This is Sean. I just wanted to call you live. I just wanted to call and say that I appreciate you signing up for Attorney Shield and supporting the company and supporting what we're trying to. Huh?
We're big fans, Sean. My wife is recording me right now. Sorry.
Hey, that's her first. It's her First Amendment right to record.
When you first came out, I was like one of the very few first people to ever buy your shirt. I still got it, and I probably I've been watching him like twice. I watch all your videos. I started auditing, and then I own a funeral service, so I had to stop for a little bit. But I'm always supporting you guys in the background. I'm always, when you guys came out with the app, I bought it. And what you guys are doing is so awesome. because a long time ago I had my rights violated and I had to go away for a little while, not knowing my rights were violated and knowing what I know now. I wish I would have known that in the past, but yeah, man, I'm a very, very big supporter of what you guys do. I watch you guys every day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your family support, and I appreciate you buying my shirt when I first started. I think I only had one shirt at the time. Is that when you bought it? When I just had like one shirt? What shirt did you get?
No, it's when you came out with the We the People one.
Oh, okay, with the We the People shirt. No, it's my favorite.
Yeah, I still got it. I actually got a picture of the baby. I was wearing the shirt and the baby was watching an audit video with me.
Oh, very cool. Send it over. I'd love to see it. Make sure you send me. I think I saw in your email you sent me your size and your address, right?
Yeah.
I'll send you. I'm going to be sending you over a Resist Tyranny shirt. So remind you always to resist tyranny. Okay.
It, man.
Thank you. I know. I appreciate you. Really. Thank you. Tell your wife I said hi. Tell your family I said hi. Hello, family. How are you?
Have a good one, buddy.
You take care. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's very nice. He's got a picture of him and his son watching the videos. Let's see here. Let's get somebody else. I'm gonna hop off of here. Let's see. Soon, 2.5 hour live. Wow. And how many people are watching? 1,500. All right. I appreciate if there was 15 people watching here, I'd appreciate each and every one of you. I really would. I really do. I appreciate all of you guys. Let's see here. I'm just going down the list. Thank you for the phone call. All right, let's call this person Charles. Charles, if you're still watching, I'm calling you. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Remember when I was on a live stream? Who put a one in the chat if you remember when I was on a live stream and leaked my personal cell phone number? I talked to a lot of you that day too. Oh man, that was my phone wouldn't work. Hello.
Yes.
Hey, this is Sean. How are you?
Oh shit!
You're live, by the way. It's okay. It's fine though. It's fine. You got freedom of speech.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? I wanted to call you and say I really appreciate you. Said you were a founding member of Attorney Shield, and I just wanted to say that I really appreciate the support.
I'm in there since December. Got my sword way back in December. I gotta get into this, man. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense, man.
It does. It makes a lot of sense, and there's so many cool features with it.
Yeah, it was something that people breathing more easily like when you get stuck. You know, so when you see the light, you know, your heart rate already goes. You know, go way up. But when you got somebody behind you, you know, control for you, calm down a little bit. That's what I appreciate. I look forward to it.
Well, I appreciate you, man. I really do. I'm gonna make sure you send me your address and your shirt size, and I'm gonna send you a Resist Tyranny T-shirt because I appreciate what you're doing. You know, I want to give back to the community. I want to give back to everybody who's supporting me and supporting what we're trying to accomplish here with Attorney Shield. So make sure you send me over that information, okay?
Yeah, I tried to hook up with you when you was in Hartford, Connecticut.
I'm sorry?
I saw you downtown, huh?
Oh, you saw me downtown?
Yeah. Remember when you in City Hall talking to the fireman?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fireman, he's real cool, you know.
Oh yeah, the fireman. Yeah. I remember. That was a while ago.
And when you left, right, I was coming up Main Street. I said, "Oh, wow, that was Sean." I almost crashed trying to dip over.
Got to be careful driving, man. You got to be careful. I see a lot of people out there, and you know, I love it because I see a lot of people out there, and in the public when I'm out auditing and traveling, and you know, people come up to me, and I love it, man. I love to feel the support of the people.
Nice to hear you. And keep up the good work, man.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Take care, okay?
All right, I'll send my information to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
All right.
I see people in the, if I've seen you somewhere while I'm auditing, you know, I'm the nice guy. I actually was at a correctional facility the other day, and I walk in, I think it might've been yesterday or the day before. And if the person that works at this correctional facility, I'm not going to say which one, you'll see, but it's, so I walk into the correctional facility and the correctional officer, he's like, he just looks at me and I'm like, why is he looking at me all weird? He's like, dude, I love your videos. I really support what you're doing. And, you know, I was at Lake George with my attorney, and he was there with his family. I was there visiting him while I was auditing. And I ran into another correctional officer that supported me. You know, there's so many people in law enforcement, in and out of law enforcement, that support what we're trying to accomplish, you know, accountability and transparency for we the people. And, you know, we got to appreciate them. You know, we need their help. Let's see here. All right. I'm going to be getting out of here soon. I'm going to make one more call, but I will be calling everybody who signs up in the first 24 hours of the posting of this. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Let's call last phone call. But last phone call during the live. I'm going to be making phone calls behind the scenes. I just don't want this to be like over 3 hours long. You guys, you know. Let's call this person. Let's see here. What if my sister's still on this live? I don't think she'd be. I don't even think my own sister would want to watch me this long. I don't know. It's a long time. I wonder if she's still here. No, my sister's got my back. She's definitely here.
Hello?
Hey, Blossom, how are you?
Oh my God. Hi, Sean. How you doing?
Hey, I'm calling you live right now. I just wanted to call you and say I really appreciate
you.
I really appreciate you signing up for Attorney Shield. Thank you for your support. Where are you calling from?
Philly.
From Philly. Wow,
Well,
yeah.
outside of.
A little outside Philly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got family a little bit outside of Philly. I went to, Philly's a little dangerous for me. I go over there and, they go crazy. I've done a few audits over there. It's crazy every time. It's been crazy
We're
every
outside
time.
of Philly. I'm in Quakertown.
Phoenixville area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. The best time to start Attorney Shield when a cop pulls you over, that would be as soon as he gets out of his car, correct?
Yeah, as soon as you're able to hit the button, it's a very simple process. You just hit the button, you ask for assistance, and I did like a live showing. I don't know if you've seen it, but where I called the attorney, and it was probably less than 10 seconds, and then just make sure you point your phone at the attorney. You have all your documents over there, and you also get like a little pamphlet comes in the mail to hold all your documents and everything, and just let the attorney do the talking. And if anything goes wrong, Lackluster and we have your back. We will make sure that the world sees it and we expose them.
Oh, I know you do. And I have yours as well. My temperament is very, very even, and I would really like to start doing this. I've been watching you forever, and Lackluster and almost everybody else.
Right.
Not the crazy people. I'm scared though in Philly to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
what's your advice?
I would say that if you are any way, nervous about what could happen to you, because anything could happen. I've been doing this 3.5 years now, and anything could happen out there. I've been able to build a big platform to where, if something does happen to me, I'm able to expose it right away. And that might not be, some people, if you can't, I don't want anybody out there getting hurt. Right. I don't want anybody out there getting hurt. That's the whole point of me and my partner starting Attorney Shield, is to make sure everybody gets home safe. We don't want anybody getting hurt. We see it over and over again. The police brutality, the rights violations by law enforcement, and the lack of accountability for when they do it. My gut feeling is to tell you, just take it easy. You know, I don't want you getting hurt out there. If you're nervous, if you can't, if you think that because cops are going to push your buttons, right? They're gonna the same way that they try and say that auditors push people's buttons and this and that. They'll push your buttons to try and to get you to break the law, so that way they can harass you and stuff. So and violate your rights.
I know when to keep my mouth shut and when to open it. So hopefully everything will work out. And I won't start in Philly. I'll start in the suburbs.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So,
Well,
thank you for your time,
no
your
problem.
effort, and everything you do for the people.
All right,
We
no problem.
appreciate you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. I'll sign up again if Lackluster will call me. Dale, I don't know. Dale's not watching this. He's a busy guy, but Dale, you need to call call up somebody. Let's see. Well, I make one. Should I do one more and then I'll get out of here? One more, and then but I'm going to call everybody offline. Yes, we're going to call. Well, that sounds about it. Christine, it was great talking to you too. I see your email here. It was great talking to you. This is somebody following up. Well, all right, guys. So listen, I'm going to call more people when this is when I get offline here in the coming days. If you're mute, I'll text to you, Harlem. But I really appreciate all your support. 1,300 of you. I remember when I first went live, I would get like 100 people in the live stream, 200 tops. And for to have 1,300 people in here after 2.5 hours of just talking, watching some stuff, me talking about Attorney Shield. I know a lot of you out there, you'll say like, oh, there's some of you, not a lot. There's some of you, some of the detractors will say, well, you're just pushing a product. Well, I'm pushing a product that I take no money from. I'm pushing a product that I believe will help we the people in the United States. It's going to help our country. It's going to fundamentally change policing in America. It is meant to keep everybody safe. We're not overcharging for it. I think $8 a month is very reasonable for what we're offering. The security pin to keep, the officer from disconnecting the call, the emergency contact notification when you're in a police interaction, recording that goes through a secure cloud server, to keep your video safe. There's just so many great features with Attorney Shield that, just the attorney is just one of the many features. And, it's the attorney is the most important part, obviously. It's why it's called Attorney Shield. But just having that recording is, very important as well. All our attorneys, shout out to all of our attorneys. They do an amazing job. They're up 24 hours, 24/7. We have attorneys staffed. It's not an easy company to run. Big shout out to my partners, David and Andy, and Lack. Without the core members of this team, this company wouldn't be where it is today. We have a big announcement coming up soon, so stay tuned to the channel for that. I really appreciate your support and hearing me out on this. Let's fundamentally change policing in America together. Thank you so much for your support. Again, anybody who signs up in the next 24 hours, send me an email with your shirt size, and I will be shipping one of these beautiful Resist Tyranny shirts to you. One of my favorite designs. I just picked this one at random, but it's one of my favorites. So again, use the link in the description to save 10%. Thank you so much. I'm gonna be getting out of here. I see all the comments. Dennis, Claudette, thank you to all my members, We the People members. Thank you so much. Without you, this is not possible. I am currently, as you see, in a hotel right now, traveling across the country to expose more tyrants to the world. Make sure you stay tuned till this Sunday. I have a great video coming out for you guys Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island Audit. Peace.